What's up mga challengers at welcome dito sa Garena AOV Valor Cup Season 3 PH National Semifinals. Kami ang magiging casters nyo para sa ating unang laro between MaxBox Gaming versus Bren Esports. Ako nga pala si Arctic at syempre kasama ko ngayon si Seiya.
That is right. Hello everyone. It's been a long time since nakapag-cast ako ulit. And yeah, so plug ko lang, you're gonna be seeing us on Sunday, right?
Yes. So, sa mga gusto makita kay Seiya, wag na ako. Si Seiya na lang.
Siya!
Di, siya talaga eh. Meron tayong live event para sa finals ng ating Philippine Nationals. So, darating na September 23, Sunday sa Ayala Malls Feliz sa Marikina City. And of course, Seiya, balita ko yung mga challengers natin na attend eh. May mga stuff to look forward to. Pero mamaya i-mention natin yan kasi balita ko eh, ready na itong dalawang teams natin na sumabak sa Antares Battlefield. Kaya nga sabi ko, MaxBox Gaming versus Bren Esports nga ang lalaban sa ating unang game for today. Best of 5.
That's right. Tsaka ito yung isa sa mga matches na pinakahihintay ko kasi kung alam mo, like si MaxBox Peaceful ay dati siyang member ng Bren.
Ay, oo.
So ngayon, we will get to see kung ano ba, kung mananaig ba ang MaxBox dito o Bren pa rin.
I'm better without you ba?
May hugot na. So, for the banning phase, unang binan ng MaxBox is Omen. Well, napaka-ano naman eh, self-explanatory since mostly gamit naman nila. Also, the Malok and the Slims.
So, we have to take note nga na based sa recent changes sa patch natin. First off, in terms of bans, kasi itong mga nakarang buwan, we've been seeing a lot of businesses with bans on heroes like Superman. Pero, Superman's been hit with the nerf hammer a lot of times to the point na malakas pa rin naman siya pero
hindi na siya yung nababan.
It's not a high priority. Kumbaga medyo mas equal na yung terrain pagdating sa kung ano yung mga prime picks natin ngayon. Pero ito nga, so depende na talaga sa kung sino yung makatapat ng mga teams natin tsaka kung sino yung kalaban na. Syempre yung trip gamit ng
yes. So far nakita natin yung MaxBox, binan nila for their third ban would be the Chalknar. Tapos dito naman sa Bren, so dati kung kayo mga inaasar-asar nyo si Valheim, pero ngayon, he's one of the top tiers na at binaban na siya ngayon kasi he hurts a lot alongside with the Mina. So for the picking, we have Violet first for MaxBox here, which is a good pick kasi nasa top tier, isa pa rin siya sa mga top tier natin. And for the other side of the team, we have the Sinyo. So mukhang magkakaroon sila ng tanky build-up dito to like go on par with MaxBox. Pero let's see.
So far, from what we're seeing from MaxBox Gaming in exchange, Pain of course gonna be locked in another one of the supports na medyo nag-rise up na in popularity. I mean, during the past season 1 and season 2, Pain pretty much a non-factor in fact pagdating sa drafting. But of course, because of recent changes, to see in a bit. Meanwhile, for Bren Esports, what we're seeing here, Rourke as well as the Irie.
Well, yes. So far, medyo aggressive, tanky ang approach ng Bren ngayon, ano? So, Rourke being either their jungler or one of their carries and hits. And we see a flash here na maganda because of his or team fights din. And dito naman sa other side, sa MaxBox, we have a Crixie. So, mukhang medyo sila, well off balance. Parang well-rounded yung team composition nila. They have the carry, they have the mage, they have the support. So, grabe, medyo maganda yung laban na to. Medyo alanganin yung picking eh. Maganda eh.
So, we'll just have to find out in a bit. Pero alam mo, natutuwa akong kay Gambit from MaxBox. Kasi kung naalala nyo nung ating quarterfinals, ang ginambit nyo nun was Wisp. So ngayon naman, Crixie. So a lot of these interesting picks coming off from MaxBox Gaming. But then again, I think this was something na na-discuss natin nung quarterfinals na sila yung tipo ng team na nawala na nga sa kanila yung isa sa magaling ng players, si Miggy. But at the same time, that goes to say na they have a great spread of talents na there's not really a young members. But on the flip side, of course, Bren Esports, a little bit of a different story here. Kasi si MaxBox Gaming on quarterfinals was a 2-0. Meanwhile, Bren Esports, muntikan na matalo ng Kimochi dun sa Game 3. But luckily, there was that one moment that allowed Bren Esports to recuperate and finish the game. Pero tingnan natin kung sino nga ba ang magiging first finalist natin sa ating PH National Finals. ngayon sa ating Facebook at YouTube. Let us know kung sino ang supportado nyo dito. MaxBox Gaming ba? Bren, sino bang gusto mong makita yung finalists? I guess we'll find out.
So ngayon sa ating first early phases ng game, of course, since maraming nagbago sa map and marami ding nagbago sa mga objectives wise, it's gonna be efficient if both sides of the team will go invade. Pero so far, we've seen on the earlier side, both opposite teams. So this is quite, well, not a new strategy, but an efficient one also to play safe. Meanwhile, we see here on the middle side of the lane, we have Crixie Aurum for MaxBox and, correction, it was a Crixie Pena and an Aurum Flash on the middle side of the lane. Meanwhile, here on the bottom side, they're poking each other, but they seem to like withdraw from it.
You know what I find interesting about this matchup here in the mid lane is that with Arcadia roaming around here, I mean, Gambit is running a Crixie. Of course, naturally, kung Crixie ka, unless balak mong gamitin yung ultimate mo for more offensive tactic, you don't really want to go straight in. And ideally, with Leather and Arcadia, that's kind of what they want to do. Siyempre, in order to get that max damage out, mas gusto nilang lumapit sa members ng MaxBox Gaming dito. But probably allow anytime soon. Pero we just have to see. Looks like we are seeing members of Bren Esports looking out here at the Abyssal Dragon.
Tama. Medyo nagkukumpulan na sila dito sa gitnang side ng battlefield here. Meanwhile, they're going for the Pina. Since support nga siya, might as well siya yung isa sa mga squishy na kakampi ng MaxBox ngayon. Pero, syempre, Peace Boy there to the rescue. Para. Pero yan na yan, may poking na po tayo mga kaibigan. Na first blood ni Flash tong si Violet. Grabe.
Yun nga lang. Mas marami pang potentially mawawala sa MaxBox Gaming. Bren Esports medyo kumpul sila dito, but that allows a lot of damage coming in exchange, but not enough for Bren Esports to take down anybody. It looks like just 2-0 for now in favor of actually Bren Esports. Proactivity there actually prevails for them.
They took the opportunity of that squishy and very tight space there. And they also have the Abyssal Dragon here uncontested. Looks like Bren here is having a good time in the early phases of the game, but seeing as MaxBox got through semifinals, I think hindi nila hahayaan na mangyari to. Hindi nila hahayaan na mag-gap sila ng tuluyan sa early phases dahil ito yung delikado. Kasi once na sobrang laki na ng gap nila ngayon, mahihirapan sila mag-cope up to the middle and the late phases ng game.
Tsaka kung titingnan mo siya, I think for MaxBox Gaming, medyo afford pa nila na magkaroon ng deaths here and there. Kasi across the board, ideally, these heroes want to amp up within the later parts. Kaya understandable na on the flip side, Bren Esports, which has a lot of power in the earlier parts of the game, they're definitely gonna want to keep up this pressure just to shut down MaxBox Gaming. If makapag-snowball naman itong Bren Esports, that's definitely gonna be their ticket to winning this game 1. Pero, of course, the question lies in, can MaxBox Gaming last it long enough to reach their optimal scaling?
That is correct. Kasi if you could look at here, the Bren Esports are poking some members of MaxBox. I'm so sorry, I'm already. I'm so sorry, I got tongue-tied. But anyway, MaxBox here going for a little bit of a pinch because they're being poked by Bren here. So far, we see that in the top side, there were 3 people, and on the middle side, there were 3 on the other. So mukhang mag-poking muna tayo dun sa may babang side. So hindi muna natin sila papansinin, magkaka-alone time muna sila dun. Pero dito sa Bren, sa top side, we see here that the Aurum, Rourke, and the Irie are always there together, preventing that kill growth push ability.
Yeah, 1-7, not having the best time right here. Effectively getting shut out by 3 members of Bren Esports. At medyo maganda to kasi syempre as a kill growth, ideally you'd want him to try to build up, tapos later on, syempre hindi siya basta-basta pwedeng pabayaan ng Bren Esports in the later parts kasi makakapag-split siya. But Rubik's trying to respond right here, unfortunately a little bit too late for the party, pero mukhang nandito na rin si Peace Boy. Hindi sila papayag na makapush pa ang Bren Esports sa second tower nila dito sa top lane. So looks like another casualty, but take note, Arcadia did go down earlier.
That is correct. That was also a good respawn time from MBX right here. Meanwhile, we see poking abilities here because it's 3-2. And we see here that the Crash is trying to initiate onto that flash. Will he get away? We'll see.
Leather Getting pushed out there by Alpha Cat, but it looks like naka-escape naman siya under turret. But like I've been mentioning, 1717, it's such a struggle for him right now, especially going up against a dominant laner like the Irie. Like I mentioned, like I was trying to point out earlier, itong si Kilgroth, ideally you want to try to allow him to build up first, and then syempre you don't want him in an awkward position kasi what strength he'll have is that he'll be able to just constantly shove lane if left unchecked, but that's really not the case here. In fact, siya pa mismo ang nape-pressure ng Bren Esports ngayon, and of course this allows much more better control for Bren Esports given what heavy a push they have towards top side into prioritizing Abyssal Dragon.
That is true, and this is a little bit of a pinch coming from the MaxBox Gaming right here, kasi this is a good strategy from Bren. Like, they're trying their best to not let that Kilgroth go and have the towers die. And we see here on the middle side of the lane trying themselves to initiate onto the flash, but the flash survives that clash, and we see here that Bren going in and taking the revenge, and the Rourke there already destroyed another tower of MaxBox, which is not looking good.
Not looking good at all. Seiya, Bren Esports really starting pushing. Alpha Cat gonna be using his ultimate to prevent any further damage from Arcadian Esh to take him down. Rubik's great response right there just to make sure that Crash can make an escape. But things are looking pretty tricky right now for MaxBox Gaming. Although medyo may chance pa kung titingnan mo. It's a 4,000 difference at 7 minutes into the game. It's not as sizable. It's just that as it's going on, Bren Esports has everything working in their favor right now as far as what they want to accomplish with this team composition.
That is true. And objective-wise, lamang na lamang talaga si Bren dito. I mean, we really can't deny. Like, they keep the pressure to MaxBox really good. They go to the objectives once they have their satisfied kills, and putting more pressure onto the Kilgroth there because the Irie parang ayun na, win-one-on-one niya na dun eh. Ayaw niya talagang pa-moving forward eh. See, with the other respawn from the Aurum there, and mamaya shortly yung flash pupunta na din dun if ever the Kilgroth decided to initiate, which is a very good strategy. So medyo naiipit na ngayon dito yung MaxBox, but they really have to find that one-ticket miracle right here para ma-turn pa nila yung game around.
Yeah, meanwhile, Arcadia trying to zone out members of MaxBox from preventing Bren Esports from getting that push in onto the first mid turret. Dito sa side ng MaxBox Gaming, that's another turret taken down. Turrets going down left and right from the side of MaxBox Gaming. And this will, of course, give Bren Esports the opportunity to go for Abyssal Dragon number 3.
That is right. And we see here that the Kilgroth is being on a pinch here, but successfully slaying that Irie due to the help of that tower. But unfortunately, that slane was an equivalent to the third Abyssal for Bren Esports. MaxBox, what are you going to do?
Anti-hero a little bit over-eager there, but probably just surrendered to 1717, realizing na marami ng members ng MaxBox Gaming ang pampot na dapat sa kanya. So probably the best case scenario right now, since medyo overextended na nga siya doon, instead just giving the soul kill to 1717 instead of allowing other members of MaxBox Gaming to get that assist. And it really reflects based on the goal difference that we're seeing here. In all fairness naman kay Peace Boy, he's doing what he can to try to catch up in gold. And so far, it's been working out for him. Hindi na ganong kalaki yung diferensya ng gold ni Peace Boy kung ikukumpara mo sa mga ibang membro ng Bren Esports. Probably at most, mga nasa 500 to 600 lang yung difference. And given the composition that MaxBox Gaming has, of course, if you're gonna look at who ideally should shine in this composition, you want Peace Boy to soar above and beyond in the later minutes of this game. We've been talking about how Bren Esports has been proactively ahead, but as these minutes go along, napag-usapan nga natin na this will allow MaxBox Gaming to slowly build up here. And of course, for every minute that passes by, it's definitely gonna put MaxBox Gaming back on equal playing field dito sa Bren Esports.
Of course, and syempre, all of the team members are going to do the best they can so that Peace Boy will get that heavy carry around. But since here on the top side of the lane, Kilgroth trying to initiate, but it's a good response from the Bren Esports. And will they kill him in the nick of time? I don't think so. Managed to survive in an inch of health. But meanwhile here again, here onto the middle side of the lane are going for it, but they decide to disengage with a little help from that Gambit right here. Still trying to poke them, but I'm not so sure. Oh, sadly that the Pena here already slain.
Yeah, unfortunately, even with the distraction happening towards top side, wherein a lot of members of Bren Esports, 3 members were committing to that one Kilgroth, you might have thought that that could have been an opening for MaxBox Gaming to have taken the fight themselves here in the mid lane, but didn't really work out right there. They did lose out on Rubik's. Not as bad though, because in terms of gold, as this game has been going along, hindi na lumalampas sa around 6,000 to 7,000. And that just really goes to show how MaxBox Gaming is keeping good control of not allowing this difference to continue to widen in favor of Bren Esports. Medyo naubusan na ng options ang Bren Esports in terms of further objectives that they can take, because MaxBox Gaming definitely efficiently defending whatever turrets they have left.
That is right. And kung nakita mo kanina, the Kilgoth's trying to attack that flash route, and that spontaneous damage there was so much. And here, they're going for the Darkslayer. Bren manages to get that Darkslayer before the Kilgoth actually tries in going for the steal. Pero since they already have the Darkslayer, they really have that autonomous amount of advantage right here. So they have this chance of actually pushing mid lane right here. And I think since they already summoned the Enraged Dragon, they're going for a split push here, giving more on pressure to MaxBox Gaming.
Yes, and looking at things here, Brent Esports looking for an opportunity to take a high ground turret. That would be a great objective to take down, which in effect allows them to get better control kung hindi man nila kaya pang tapusin itong laro. But looks like MaxBox Gaming not gonna allow it to happen, gonna try to wait off the members of Brent Esports. Looks like we'll be able to do just that, but Brent Esports looking for another opening, contenting themselves with that top high ground turret. Are they going to try to go for that mid lane? They're still looking pretty healthy, can still take more fights. Anti-Hero in the midst of things trying to get a split towards this bot lane. But of course, Alpha Cat and 1717 will make sure na makapag-defend pa sila dito. So far, so good for MaxBox Gaming. Just lost out on one high ground. Could have been worse. So, dito pumapasok yung how MaxBox Gaming has been able to keep a sizable distance. Hindi masyadong malaki, kung saktong-sakto lang na hindi sila ma-overwhelm ng Brent Esports dito. But of course, Brent Esports, in effect, they've been having better control over the map, better control over objectives. Again, another Abyssal Dragon. Tingnan mo yung objectives ng MaxBox Gaming. Oo, they've been doing a good job at making sure na hindi mag-skyrocket to infinity itong lean ng Brent Esports. At the same time, objectives haven't really been on their side right now.
Yeah, that's right. And just a while ago, the fourth Abyssal Dragon is the Enraged Abyssal Dragon. So they gain this big buff that already has regenerated their HP by 50% or more. And this is going to be very difficult for MaxBox kasi with the lesser turrets that they have right now, the Bren can have this ability to give them more pressure on the three sides of the lane. But we just need this one-way ticket so that MaxBox can actually look for that ranging, saving grace of a, what do you call this? A team fight.
Oh.
That's right. So that they can turn the table around and preventing that snowball that you were mentioning earlier. So far, Bren here is good when it comes to the jungle phase and the map as well. But we see here that MaxBox, although they're having a pinch here, this in an AOV game, sure, it's going to be a fast lane, more like an 8 to 10 minutes, but they have managed to reach the 13-minute mark. So it just goes to show that MaxBox here is really good in keeping up with the pressure that Bren has been giving them.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Bren Esports though. Medyo okay yung staying power nila so far. Constantly pressuring MaxBox Gaming into go for the defense here. Because ideally, once Bren Esports finishes up on an onslaught of a push onto MaxBox Gaming, pagka-back nila, yun sana yung opportunity ng MaxBox Gaming na, okay, let's take what we can. Aside from the waves, let's try to take camps just to keep that goal difference in check. But because Bren Esports has constantly been staying, like you mentioned, because of taking Abyssal Dragon earlier, they also get a little bit more of that regen to stay into the reaches of the entire battlefield. This, in effect, limits MaxBox Gaming's movement dito sa mapa. So, nonetheless though, MBX has been keeping up a good defense. But what I worry about is they can't just continue to rely on what waves are pushing in. Eventually, they'll need to make a move that could allow them to slowly build up against Bren Esports.
That is true. And you also mentioned that they shouldn't really rely on that waves. And also, if you notice, then since they already got that dragon buff, they should have used the time that they have that kind of buff into actually going in to MaxBox, because because if you notice that the time that they had that buff was kind of wasted because they were really depending onto the waves that are supposed to go into the nexus of the MaxBox Gaming. But so far here we see them, they're trying to attempt a split push and an initiate by going into the brushes.
And looks like, if you're gonna look at what MaxBox Gaming is doing though, kept in check pa rin na dapat nangunguna si Peace Boy sa pag-build up. He's the only member on MaxBox Gaming that has 5 digits in his gold in comparison to the rest of everyone else na medyo na bit behind na lalo tong si Rubik tsaka si Gambit. But it's understandable because like we've been saying earlier during the start of the game, it's Peace Boy ang dapat manguna para sa MaxBox Gaming. That's still in check, but what I kind of worry about is even though he's keeping up as much as possible, keeping up to par against the rest of the carries of Bren Esports, andun ba yung sufficient enough support to keep him going in whenever a bigger team fight comes?
That is true. So far, there's nothing much happening here because MaxBox here is getting a good on par with the pressure that Bren is giving. So far, Rourke here is going for another, if I'm not mistaken, is this the Abyssal Dragon or the Slayer? Or objective-wise, he's trying to get it all on his own, giving other 4 members of Team Bren onto the side of MaxBox to give them more pressure. Like what I said, Rourke successfully got that Dark Slayer, again giving Bren a more opportunity to have this buff to actually finally go and at least try to initiate a team fight. But if you saw a while ago that Violet's damage there onto the Flash like lessen his see here currently that they're trying to still keep up onto the middle side of the lane, hoping that they won't be actually pressured by what Arcadia is going to give.
Oh no, looks like they're going to try to go for it. Bren Esports going for the dive onto MaxBox Gaming, really wanting to close up, but Gambit will get the kill onto Arcadia. So far, so good for MaxBox Gaming. 1 member down for the count. Make that 2 actually. Anti-Hero did go down earlier. This could be the opportunity for MaxBox Gaming to finally make things happen for themselves, and that was beautiful right there. Every single member of MaxBox Gaming stands while Bren Esports forced to make the retreat. And ladies and gents, welcome to the late game.
That is correct. This is the one-way ticket that I was talking about earlier. If Bren didn't if Bren took the advantage of getting in during the early and mid phases of the game, then they could have won it straight. But this was MaxBox Gaming. I mean, this is the opportunity that they have been waiting for. They waited for that initiate coming for Arcadia, but they managed to keep the pressure up to him and turn the tables around instead, giving more opportunity for this Kilgoth to actually go into and try to push and go and play some juggle. Meanwhile here, MaxBox finally getting an Abyssal Dragon, and that is Enrage. Take note of that.
Yes, galit na galit ang Abyssal Dragon. Basta sa nakuha ng MaxBox team. But this is really good for them because that's actually a good question that you put out right there. Dumating na ba sa point na medyo late na nang nakapag-pull ng trigger itong Bren Esports sa pag-dive nila? Kasi take note, there was a member that already went down earlier tapos ipipilit pa rin nilang mag-push in. So, I think that's the worry right now. 18 minutes into the game, already nearing 20.
Mukhang pinapatunayan na to ni Peace Boy na kaya ko.
Yes.
Kaya ko nung wala kayo. Pero pinapatunayan din na to ni Bren na kaya din namin nang wala ka.
What I really like about this though is grabe yung hugot na. But ang maganda pa dito, we've been praising Peace Boy a lot. I also have to give my kudos to 1717 kasi kahit siya ang nape-pressure ng unang mga minuto pa lang nung game natin, ang ganda ng recuperation niya. 12.6k gold right now on this Kilgoth. Way different from the flip side that we saw earlier wherein si 1717 pa mismo yung nag-struggle. So dito na nga dumadating yung factor na we're already into the late game. And MaxBox Gaming has already reached a point where they were able to build up, not necessarily get back onto equal ground with Bren Esports just yet, but just reach that phase wherein they've already reached the optimal skill na gusto nilang marating sa team comp na meron sila.
That is correct. I also want to give my piece to Peace Boy right there kasi even though they had that struggle na nandun lang sila within the Nexus, he still manages to be in par with the other members of Bren. Meanwhile, we still have right here another team fight. Bren is trying to engage.
But still, MaxBox Gaming, with where they're at right now, much more confident in going for these defenses.
That is right. This is giving Bren a little more hesitations to
Yes.
how are they going to go into the Nexus and go to another team fight with MaxBox efficiently as much as possible.
You know mo, dumadating na tayo sa punto na Bren Esports is the line between where they've been pressuring MaxBox Gaming. Kumbaga kanina halos nasa pintuan na sila ng base ng MaxBox Gaming. Ngayon, not that there's literally a pintuan syempre, pero kumbaga yung mismong inner base nila. Pero look at how Bren Esports is being a little bit more careful this time around, knowing that it's a little bit more trickier to contend with MaxBox Gaming at this point. And what I'm worried about is that window of opportunity is slowly closing out, unless maybe Bren Esports can look for a pickoff onto MaxBox Gaming. But I don't know, it's a bit of a tall order right now because MaxBox Gaming looking pretty good as these minutes go along. I'm actually pretty impressed.
That is true, and we're already on the 20-minute mark of the game. This is really surprising because this is the first game of the first match and it's already this intense. Meanwhile, we still see here that the tons of damage that MaxBox is already having is slowly recuperating with Bren that they had on the early phases of the game. But so far onto battlefield-wise, Bren still has that upper hand to go with the minions in the jungles and of course with objectives as well. Meanwhile, again, we see that Rourke here trying to go solo with this Dark Slayer here in hopes of getting them another big chance of a buff.
That's gonna be pretty interesting right there. And that could be one of the tickets that Bren Esports needs to go head-to-head once again with MaxBox Gaming. But look at Alpha Cat making good work of both Leather and Antihero, gonna try to make sure that the flash is kept in check. But looks like the sneaky Dark Slayer was actually aborted. Gonna try to bank on maybe a member of MaxBox Gaming extending into that Riverside. Mukhang di naman yun mangyayari. It's still a bit dangerous to do so. Numbers are still looking good. I like how MaxBox Gaming is kind of grouped up right now, not wanting to give BE any other opportunity to try to get a pick off, which would be beneficial to Bren Esports in getting a push in onto another one of those high ground turrets.
That is correct. And if you notice that the Rourke aborted in actually getting the Dark Slayer earlier, which was efficient, kasi if hindi niya ginawa yun, MaxBox would realize that the Rourke is missing and would actually use that in their favor to actually go and pick Bren one by one. But we see here again Rourke for the second attempt going for that Dark Slayer node, while other members of Bren keeping MaxBox busy right here.
Yes, meanwhile Leather gonna go straight for the backline, wanting to try to take down key turret. Take note, great sneaky Dark Slayer coming in, pero mukhang hindi basta-basta. Papayag si Alpha Cat na maka-escape na ng Bren Esports. Siniel will be coming in for the extra heal. Looks like Alpha Cat, though, moment for him to revive right there as the rest of MaxBox Gaming try to go for a response here. No members of MaxBox Gaming have gone down, but take note, Arcadia was the sacrifice in all of that. Dark Slayer is up for Bren Esports. Ang tanong, masusulit ba nila to?
This is the one that I was telling earlier kasi yung kanina hindi nila ganong nasulat eh. But now they have the second chance. The second chance that the Rourke actually gave to the other side of the members. Meanwhile, kinukuha nga nila yung chance na yun by actually taking this Enraged Abyssal Dragon, while over here, the Flash trying to poke that Pyna right there in hopes na baka mabawasan siya and makikita ng ibang members so that yun yung pwede nilang ma-initiate. But now, we see here that the damage that the Violet has done to the Flash give him more than less than a half health right there. Which means that hindi pa sila sumusuko. They still want this. Kumbaga, the Peace Boy here is getting much minions and the jungle as much as possible to be not just in par, but to actually go and poke whichever yung kakayanin ng damage niya.
This is gonna be interesting because the tricky part here is that sure, MaxBox Gaming was able to stand their ground, but they lost out on another high ground turret. So with that said, with these later minutes of the game working in their favor, on the flip side, because of the heavy minion waves pushing in towards mid lane, syempre, may mga kailangan pa rin silang pag-ingatan dito. Of course, they don't want to get backdoored. First off, they don't want a heavy lane wave to just push in and take down their core. We've seen a number of games in the past, even on high-level pro play, wherein di na-estimate ng mga teams na biglang may nag-push na palang minions lang. Not even a hero pushing in. Yung minions lang mismo. But look at that. A lot of damage going on to Leather, though. Looks like Bren Esports really trying to force things here. Arcada looking very low as well. Patuloy pa rin hinabol ng mga ibang membro ng MaxBox Gaming dito. Meanwhile, Kuroki doing a great job at trying to keep the rest of MaxBox Gaming in check. Rubix, of course, will be surviving right here. Still 3 members. Beast Boy is up and kicking on this Violet. Will be trying to take down Kuroki. That's going to be the knockup coming in. Ash will try to follow up, though. Going to run straight in onto that kill ground. Beast Boy trying to maintain health under turret. That's going to be the work going on. But that's going to be the wave pushing in. Yan na nga ang sinasabi namin. Game 1 will be going to Bren Esports. Just like that.
Ooh, you tipo the unexpected turn of events talaga. It was a good opportunity that Bren keeping them busy so that the creeps, the wave minions, who would have thought na sila pa yung magtatapos ng game? It was ironic na hindi isang hero yung nagtapos ng game, but like what you said, isang wave minion.
I think medyo masama yung prediction ko para sa MaxBox Gaming. What we were talking about nung bago mangyari yon happened. So, but of course that was a good move for Bren Esports right there by keeping the members of MaxBox Gaming distracted doon sa bot lane right there by forcing that 5, seeing that the waves were pushed in for Bren Esports worked out in their favor then.
That is true. Yung tipong, I thought to myself that MaxBox was actually going to pull this off by isa-isa unti-unti niyang iniisa-isa yung Bren pero bigla na lang makita mo nag-zoom in siya sa and biglang wala na, but it was a good fight though. Considering that they managed to go for a 24 minute mark. It was an intense game for a first game. Yeah, that
was a pretty prolonged team fight dun sa bot lane. It was just enough for that wave to push in. I think mid lane pa nga yung nag-push in dun sa core nila. But, I mean, let's also talk about the earlier parts of the game. Kasi, during the first few minutes, like we've been saying, Bren Esports, maganda na ngayon yung ginagawa nila. Pressuring MaxBox Gaming to a point na hindi sila nakakakuha ng objectives. Like, halos mid-part, actually, no, probably like 3/4 through the game palang natin sila nakita na makakuha ng Abyssal Dragon. But other than that, not really as much. So I think doon natin nakikita kung ano yung investment na nagawa ng Bren Esports by forcing it took a while for them to get there, but yung investment na yun in the long run, at least hindi siya umabot sa point na nahirapan yung Bren Esports na makipag-contend dun sa late game prowess na meron ang MaxBox Gaming sa comp nila.
That is true. And siguro yung breaking point nila dito is yung time na lumabas sila ng mapa while Kilroth was trying to look on to that Dark Slayer right there done by the Roar. Siguro, kasi nakita ko kanina that Sinyo was going onto the top side of the lane pushing. Kaya successfully niyang nasira yung other top turret doon. Kaya siguro doon na nag-push but slowly but surely yung mga wave minions. Kaya naisip siguro nila, hey, this is our chance na we go and have this kind of team fight in the bottom side of the lane. Well, maybe, just maybe, that the waves would actually go and took the tower away from MaxBox. But it was really a good game. It was nice.
Yeah, interesting mini-mind game right there. Kumbaga, andun, nagbe-build up na yung anticipation natin na, MaxBox Gaming, they're really standing their ground. But little did we know that sneak wave pushing in onto that core right there. But it's gonna be very interesting. Best of 5 that we have right here. A lot of opportunity for MaxBox Gaming to still come back, but of course with 1 up for Bren Esports. That's definitely a good start to a series right here, but still a long journey ahead. That's just one battle won. We still have the full war to look forward to.
That is
ating match 1.
Siguro kasi syempre since game 1 pa lang to, some are like warming up, some are like shake your body up, ganyan.
Shake your body.
Shake your diba? Kaya siguro wala pa sa ganong in the zone yung MaxBox game. Pero makita natin on the second game that we're gonna have pretty soon. So far, base sa nakita natin, what do you think is going to happen on
man, I would love to see MaxBox Gaming on a composition that's a little bit more solid in what protection they have for Peace Boy. Kasi I think it's definitely tricky if you're gonna look at heroes like Crixie, like Sure. I mean, given the support that she brings to utility, Crixie packs quite a punch, but of course, there's still that question of how long she'll actually last in fights. But looking at the flip side of Bren Esports' composition, they don't really have because Rourke, sure, he's a marksman, but the range he has to be in order to actually deal damage and have substance in fight. I don't know, at this point, but something probably a little bit more solid because nakita naman natin na MaxBox Gaming is capable of prolonging games knowing that their composition can rise above and beyond in the later parts. It's just that, ayun nga, by the time that they did reach that late game, medyo marami na silang objectives. Medyo maraming objectives ang nawala sa kanila. Sure, ideally you'd want to keep up with what heroes you have, but at the same time, syempre you don't want to give up too much para pagdating dun sa late game, hindi kayo panay defend lang. You ideally want to have that extra leg para mas may reach pa rin kayo sa mapa. But with Bren Esports taking so many objectives, medyo, I wouldn't say shut down kasi may opportunities pa rin naman. It's just that mas hirap.
They had the struggle to actually go for that one-way ticket to turning the tables around. Pero yun nga, like what you said, siguro this time they're going for more optimized picks na that can, bukod sa aalagaan talaga si Peace Boy, pero I think they're going to have this kind of composition na hindi lang din siya yung kayang magbigay ng damage.
True.
I think they're going for this kind of pick na pwede rin yung ibang members ng MaxBox ang magkaroon ng masakit na damage dito. Sakit. Pero at the same time, since knowing this, siguraduhin din naman ng Bren na they would keep up what they've already started. Kasi, ayun na they were already good in the early and mid phases of the game. Medyo nahirapan sila ng konti with the late game kasi, yun nga, there were doors opening then for MaxBox nung time na yun. Kaso nga lang, naunahan nga. Pero this time, in this second game, I think it's going to be more intense. Mas pipiliin pa nila ng maayos yung mga ibaba nila, mga ipipick din nila, so that they can fully have this kind of composition that goes into their favor then as well.
Yes, so yun nga ang naging game mo natin. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, once again, sa mga kakapanood pa lang sa ating stream, nanonood kayo ng ating Arena AOV Valor Cup Season 3 PH National Semifinals. Match 1 pa lang tayo between Bren Esports and MaxBox Gaming. At mamaya, Resurgence.Clutch Guild.Nimo TV versus EurasiaSuperfly Esports ang lalaban sa ating match 2. So, a lot of games ahead for today. And of course, coming September 23, darating na ang ating finals for the Philippines sa Ayala Malls Feliz sa Marikina City. So that's gonna be on a Sunday, guys. And of course, magkatapos nun ay rektang susunod ang wildcards naman para ma-determine kung Grand Finals. But of course, Seiya, ano nga ba ang meron para sa ating mga challengers? Yung mga pupuntang challengers dun sa Ayala Malls Feliz ngayong Sunday. Ay, mamaya na yan.
Mamaya na yun. Siyempre, bibigyan natin suspense. So, gusto nyo malaman, siyempre, hintayin nyo muna matapos yung game.
Patience is key. Gaya ng pinakita ng pareho nating team kanina ng game 1. Pero tingnan natin, patience game na naman ba makita natin heading into game number 2.
So far for the banning phase, we see here that Bren banning still the Xenial and the Mina as well. And this time, binana ng MaxBox yung ginamit nila kanina, which is the Violet. So, feeling ko nga talaga na mas pupunta sila for a more optimized kind of composition. Pero we'll see. Ganun pa rin, same as the first game. Ban pa rin si Chognar right here. So, let's see kung ano yung pinaka-last na...
So, we're just checking out that ban right here. Valheim, of course.
Still a Valheim. So, dito naman for MPX, well, ganun pa rin. Sustain pa rin yung ban nila. It's similar to the one that was in the game 1, but may slight changes lang, which was the Violet. And yeah, so the Slims still banned. So, they have more options. Malok being open kasi kanina na-ban siya. So, ngayon, open naman siya ngayon. So, tignan natin. So, ngayon, Bren still going in for the Aurum. So, mukhang hindi nila kayang pakawalan yun. For MaxBox, we have the Fennec and the Teamy.
So interesting switch up here coming in from MaxBox Gaming. I definitely like this better. I was talking about earlier how I'd love to see heroes brought in by MaxBox Gaming na mas may staying power. And Teamy does just that. He has his own personal staying power. Not to mention, through his ultimate, allows a bit more staying power for a potential key carry that he might want to keep in check para sa composition ng MaxBox Gaming. Could be the Fennec, of course. But on the flip side, Bren Esports, Chinar, tsaka Malok.
Oh, this is,
classic?
Yeah, it's a classic pick. And syempre, of course, that Jinar here has been buff as well. But Meanwhile, dito naman sa MaxBox, they're going for the Arduin Omen. Mukhang MaxBox is going not just for the survivability, but also more on the pushy carry type of composition as well. But dito naman sa Bren, they're still going in for that Irie Rourke pick, just like in the first games. I wonder what's it. Mukhang mas intense yung laro natin ngayon.
Yon. I was actually thinking something with that ability power for MaxBox Gaming right there. And of course, it's gonna be paborito mo, Seiya, Liliana.
Yes.
Gonna be brought to the table by MaxBox Gaming. Pero, sige, reviewin natin tong composition ng Bren Esports and MaxBox Gaming. Again, Bren Esports, definitely a lot of power to what they could bring in the early game, especially once Bren Esports has access to their ultimates. I mean, they have Malok, they have a lot of staying power through the arm, complemented by damage. Leather, he's just gonna go straight and zoom in onto those fights.
That's correct. So meanwhile naman yung MaxBox kanina, they already paid attention to the heroes that they're going to pick. Mas pinili na lang ngayon yung mga heroes na magsistay longer sa game. Because kanina, di ba, we had the Crixie and the Paina. Knowing them na they tend to be squishy on the, especially early phases of the game. Early phases is so they took attention to that, which is good kasi pinalitan nila ng mas suitable for this kind of phase. Meanwhile, we're going to start right now for our match 1, game 2.
Bren Esports versus MaxBox Gaming. Currently 1-up ngayon ang Bren Esports dito sa ating best of 5. Pero MaxBox Gaming, syempre, di magpapatalo yung mga yan.
Mukhang kakaiba naman ang approach nila ngayon. Kanina, both teams are going to the opposite sides. Ngayon naman, they're going for an invade. Very blunt and very straightforward indeed. Pero ganun pa rin, same tactic. They're going for each other's blue buffs right here. So, mukhang they're trying to give pressure on both sides of the team as much as possible, preventing what happened in the early game a while ago.
Yeah, looks like MaxBox Gaming gonna try to keep up proactivity themselves, in which case they do have a Fennec. Fennec has a pretty good roam on the entire battlefield given his kit. Also packs quite a bit of a punch, especially once you start building up. So that's definitely someone you want to look out for on the side of MaxBox Gaming. I mean, it's Beast Boy running it, so definitely expectation right there. But I think one thing I'd really look forward to seeing is whether or not Bren Esports can bring that same proactivity. Kasi tingnan mo yung adjustment na ginawa ng MaxBox Gaming. Sending 3 members, pressure out anti-hero into making a retreat. So definitely gonna want to kick up the pace here, MaxBox Gaming. They're not gonna show that same slow start that they had during game 1.
That is correct. Mukhang they want this early game to be dominated by them, by MaxBox. I mean, tignan mo naman, in the early phases pa lang, a minute still, and they already here trying to go for an initiate here on the middle side of the lane. Meanwhile, we see here that Teamy's on a little pinch. Ooh, that damage though. Oh, but was poked by that Teamy skill right there, which leaves that both teams to discontinue their attempted team fight. Pero magandang start siya kasi both parehas silang may gusto na they want to dominate this game. And we see here nga, like what I was mentioning kanina, they took attention of what happened on game 1. Ayaw na nilang maulit yung same mistake nila. So they're trying their best here. And Fennec having that advantage on his kit na he's good at pushing.
Yes.
So he can roam, at the same time he can push. So it's going to be a nice game.
Yeah, meanwhile, look at those numbers. 4 members lingering around Abyssal Dragon. This could break out into a team fight. Arcadia, a little bit too far off, but of course Kuroki there as well to keep MaxBox Gaming in check. No initiations coming in from either side. Just gonna call it quits, play it a bit more safer. We'll transition back to their lanes. Neither side gonna risk taking Abyssal Dragon, but take note of the goal difference that we're seeing subtly in favor of MaxBox Gaming. But yun na nga, first blood gonna be going to 1717. That, my friends, is one of the reasons why we haven't been seeing as much Omen within the past few games that we've had.
That is correct. It's medyo priority ban talaga siya kasi just because of his kit. It's very good for his second skill kasi gives untouchable. So, but parang immune siya to control magic for how many seconds. So it gives him that survivability. But we see here that the Junior successfully slain from one of the members of MPX.
Interesting start right here. So with that said, MaxBox Gaming definitely poising themselves for a good start right here. Take note, they did lose out on 1717 eventually. So I think Top calls it quits for a bit, but definitely a great start here for 1717 because I think at the end of the day, what 1717 brings to the table on this board is that you kind of lose out on a bit of the power that an Irias, but all of the hold that right there. Kuroki actually goes for a dive in onto MBX. That was a little bit scary right there for Bren Esports. Looks like they do have the mental fortitude to disengage though.
That was a close call for the Timmy right there. Kasi yun talaga yung target ni Malo kanina eh. Si Timmy talaga. Pero it was surprising that the Timmy manages to survive. Meaning we see a 2v1 here on the top side of the lane. MaxBox trying his best to survive but fails because it's separate. Numbers matter here on the game. So it was a good start also from Bren. Giving that they know what Omen can do. Might as well outnumber, right?
Yeah, try to go for that counter engage Gambit, but was a little bit too late for the party, and they might actually lose out on turret. But Rubik's already making his way. Take note, this Shimi gonna try to make things happen, gonna allow Gambit to get quite a bit of damage, supported with Peace Boy supplementing damage as well, giving chase to the members of Bren Esports right now. Leather lingering in the brush. Is MBX gonna bite onto the zone? Oh, that's a good hold coming in from Gambit, but looks like no further takedowns will happen. Both sides can play a bit more safer. Spirit Sentinel is the point of contest for both sides here. Rubik can go straight and gonna try to hold down Esh. Esh tries to make it out, but with all that overwhelming damage, just goes down in a flash to MaxBox Gaming.
That is correct. The mispositioning right there was very seen because they already know that the numbers are getting high from MaxBox right there. So it was a little bit too late to realize that. That's why he was caught off guard. And of course, having that victory right there, they're going in for the middle lane here because they really don't want to dilly-dally no more. They're going in. They're going to push this one. And they're going to go for that initiative really pretty soon enough.
Yeah, looks like Leather gonna go straight, and look at all the damage he's managing to deal. Gonna force the members of MaxBox Gaming to scatter, but look at that Alpha Cat. Will manage to take him down. Unfortunately, Bren Esports a little bit too late to complementing the damage coming in from Leather as he went in on that fight. Make that Arcadia going down as well. 2-0 in favor of MaxBox Gaming. MaxBox Gaming sabi nila, tama na warm up ng game 1. Let's go at it, and look at this. Completely different story from what we saw earlier.
This is going to be like I hope I don't read it, but it looks like it's gonna be a snowball fight because seeing while they were having that fight onto the middle side of the lane, the Omen was already split pushing the bottom side of the lane, which gives this a little bit of pinch for Bren Esports. And we see there that they successfully had their second, the Soul Dragon. Looks like Bren has what the MaxBox had kind of situation on the first game. This is quite a different story like you've mentioned because things are happening way faster than it was on the early game a while ago, and based on their roaming it's simultaneous, it changes, and they're going on a rendezvous on which one is here and which one is there. So it's a good start because they have the stun coming from the Timmy and the Liliana there as well, giving them more chances to actually engage on more team fights here. But so far, since the countdown for the Darkslayer is there, I'm pretty sure that MaxBox is going to guard that Darkslayer there to get that kind of buff in their favor.
Oh my goodness, look at that. 5 members of Bren Esports committed to that bot lane just to hold down 1717. And this is an
knowing
opportunity.
that MaxBox already going in for that top tower because they know that numbers of Bren are more onto the bottom side of the lane. This is quite a pinch for Bren because this is, I think, where they get startled a bit of what happened because this isn't what happened on the early game. So what's happening now?
Medyo worried na ako para sa Bren Esports dito kasi nakikita natin them falling behind. Because earlier, at least with MaxBox Gaming, kahit na behind sila, they were able to hold their ground for a bit, but look at how dominating MaxBox Gaming is in this game. Bren Esports has been nothing but responsive to what's happening to the map, and the tricky part is, with them just being responsive, MaxBox Gaming just one step ahead almost every single time, and looks like they're gonna award themselves with what domination that they have by taking a Dark Slayer.
And this time, they're not having time to waste. I mean, with each and every tower that they push, they also push the essential objectives that they actually need in order to actually go for a good team fight right here. Looks like Bren is more focused on actually clumping up together, mostly on the bottom side of the lane, which is giving MaxBox a more advantageous stage onto the other sides of the lane. Meanwhile, we see them right here. Although not yet enraged, they got their third Abyssal Dragon. Looks like they're more advantageous when it comes to objectives right here.
And ang pinaka-worry ko dito is, dumarating na tayo sa punto na, if you're gonna look at Bren Esports' composition, this is the last type of team comp that you'd want to see playing the defense right here. You have heroes like Malok, you have a Jinner. You definitely don't want to put them in a position where they have to play defensively. You want to see them going in hard on these team fights, pero that's not really the case, considering how dominant MaxBox Gaming has been, proactively pushing in. Looks like they want to try to go for a high ground. 1717 actually going straight in, but that's going to be the issue coming in from Bren Esports. Will it be enough though? Ash actually managing to take down that Omen. MaxBox Gaming, they're running for the hills right now. They were way too clumped up in that team fight. Alpha Cat looks like will be the sacrifice to allow the rest of MaxBox Gaming to make the escape. 3 members. Looks like Alpha Cat actually still living, but Kuroki gonna cancel off his escape route right here. And looks like wasn't estimating that the members of MaxBox Gaming were still there. Will get taken down himself. So I think that's a fight that calls it quits.
That is correct. And the mere fact that Arduin was already there in a tight situation, but still manages to escape with the help of the good response from his teammates right here, which is remarkable. You really have to hand it that the MaxBox Gaming knows what they have to do, especially into clump fights like this. I mean, they've already been there. They've already into that tight situation, so they already know how to counter that said situation. Meanwhile, they already just have their 4th Abyssal Dragon, the enraged one, I tell you, which is uncontested.
Yun yung medyo tricky, no? The last thing that MaxBox Gaming wants to do is find themselves way too clumped up. Kasi marami ka masyadong ini-enable kapag dikit-dikit kayo. When you're MaxBox Gaming, you're enabling the Jinner. Like we mentioned, these guys want to go straight in onto team fights, get those ultimates in there, get a prime initiate. So I think MaxBox Gaming, if there's one thing that they have to look out for when they take another team fight, it's positioning.
The mispositioning is blatantly seen kanina, kasi if they weren't that too much clump, especially yung kanina na 5 sila lahat magkakadikit, then MaxBox wouldn't have that kind of opening from the top and the middle side. Pero yun na nga, since it already happened, the best way to do here is to maintain and keep up with the pressure that MaxBox will be giving to them.
Oh, that's going to be an initiate coming in from Kuroki. A little bit too early, though. Wasn't able to follow up with a solid damage. Anti-hero was lingering towards this mid lane. Looks like MBX going to capitalize on just that by trying to take down the high ground in the mid lane. Looks like they lost out on a wave, though. I like how MBX is taking this very methodical, though. Okay, whatever's pushed in, let's transition to that lane. Bren Esports, looks like they've been holding their ground, though, but is it going to be the same mirroring that we saw during Game 1? Because it's definitely a struggle. Oh, Beast Boy, though, took quite a bit of damage. Looks like Bren Esports really wants in. They know who their prime target is, but unfortunately weren't able to account for the rest of MBX in that front lane. Arcadia and Esh, they tried to go on to Gambit, but still numbers are looking pretty darn good for MBX. That Arcadia going down. It's only Esh that survives to tell the tale. Mukhang kaya nang tapusin ang game na to ng MaxBox Gaming.
Faster than expected, of course. MBX here knows who to target first. Meanwhile, unfortunately for Bren, they were kind of scattered up a bit, trying to go who? No, you go here. No, you go here. So they were quite of a mess, and they didn't have this kind of agreement on who to target first. That happened opposite with MaxBox, because they know who to target first. They know who has the lesser HP and who needs to be killed first. So that was a good job done by MaxBox. I mean, it was faster than what we have seen on Game 1 a while ago.
Yeah, Bren Esports a little bit tunneled towards wanting to reach into Peace Boy, not respecting what other arsenal MaxBox Gaming had to keep them in check. And not to mention, I think Gambit, medyo pinabayaan lang nitong Liliana. Towards the end of that fight, he was still looking pretty darn healthy. And once they realized that Gambit was something that they also needed to take into account of, it was a bit too late. And I think at the end of the day, MaxBox Gaming played that beautifully. A complete 180-degree difference of a performance from what we saw kanina nung Game 1. So mukhang equal na nga tayo ngayon. 1-1 saya sa ating best of 5. So still could go either way, but mukhang natapos ng warm-up ng MaxBox Gaming dito. I'm kind of worried for Bren Esports at this point if they're gonna allow. I think what they'd ideally want to do is kind of ping pong. Okay, you're gonna take game number 2, we'll take game 3, sure, game 4, game 5. Hopefully that goes in their favor, but it's just so tricky. I think from what we saw earlier, because game 1 was very uncharacteristic of what you'd expect from MaxBox Gaming. Game number 2, yan ang hinahanap ko. So,
that's correct. So yeah, like what we have said kanina, mukhang warm-up nga lang talaga ni MaxBox yon. But
yes.
Maybe the downfall talaga dito was the positioning done by Bren kanina. I mean, if they utilized the map and they paid respect to the composition that MBX had kanina, then maybe they would have found other ways than not just clumping up together.
I would have loved to have seen more awareness in a way. But I guess we'll just have to find out in Game 3 how the tables will turn. Will MaxBox Gaming continue to build up, or Bren Esports just kind of go the other way once again and go 2-1? We'll see in a bit. But for the meantime, quick break muna tayo. When we come back, ang ating mga co-casters natin, we also have Opa, Vulcan, Chisto, and Marco taking the stage. So you guys will be seeing them a bit. Break muna kami ni Seiya.
That is correct.
So,
and if you guys want to know kung what the challengers will get for September 23, you guys have to keep watching because later we will tell you.
Maya-maya muna, guys. So, once again, we have been your casters. Ako si Arctic. Siyempre kasama ko si Seiya at ito ang Garena AOV Valor Cup Season 3 PH National Semifinals between MaxBox Gaming and Bren Esports. Later on, it's going to be Resurgence.Clutch Guild.Nimo TV versus EurasiaSuperfly Esports taking the stage. We'll be back for game number 3.
Welcome back, challengers, towards the Valor Cup Season 3. Ako po si Vulcan, kasama ko si Chisto. And we will be your shoutcasters entering and continuing on to Bren Esports versus MaxBox Gaming.
Yeah, and so far, Vulcan, sobrang exciting itong best of 5 series between MaxBox Gaming and Bren Esports. Diba? Natay nila 1-1 yung scoreline. So, essentially, headed to the rest of this best of 5. Nasa parang best of 3 situation na tayo.
Yeah, medyo na-drama ka dyan, Chisto. Yeah, but I do agree with you there. It's gonna be a game, who knows? We may go all the way to a full 7 games. I think when it comes to seeing how MaxBox Gaming played against Bren Esports, you know that when it comes to Bren Esports, minsan they could be the ones to control the game, but at times they do fall back and let the other team take control, and that's what we saw in game 2. But now let's move on to game 3 to see how things pan out for MaxBox Gaming versus Bren Esports.
And alam mo yung interesting thing dito, di ba game 3 na both teams medyo nag-reset yung momentum nila since both teams already have a loss under their belts. Siyempre, di game 3 dito na yung chance sila parehas na kunin yung momentum dito sa best of 5 because whoever wins this upcoming match will be on match point. So whoever loses will be facing a lot of pressure moving forward.
And whoever wins this, of course, we'll be seeing them move on towards this Sunday. We want to see you guys there for the finals. So that's going to be live in Ayala Malls Feliz. And we will be there. Me, Chisto, Arctic, especially si Asray then will also be your casters there. So we hope to see you guys then. But game 3 though, before we get to Sunday, we need to focus on today here because, again, MaxBox Gaming has shown some strength coming back to Game 2. But Bren Esports, I still have some questions because they were so close to losing one of the dark horses, one of the less-known teams upcoming to the Valor Cup Season 3. They were very close to losing that, but they've won. So, now in Game 3, that's going to be my question there.
Yeah, parehas nga tayo nang iniisip dito, Vulcan. Whoever grabs the momentum here has a really good shot. Whoever wins has a really good shot of moving forward, considering that they will be on match point. Pero, ayun nga, I guess we'll just have to wait and see once we load onto the game. Pero, of course, after the series, Vulcan, we still I'll hold that thought for now as mukhang mag-drafting phase na muna tayo kaagad dito. Chogner, unang tatanggalin dito ng Matchbox.
I mean, we won't be seeing those double supports. I mean, always being banned out. But we know that Marja is enabled for this game, but not in the meta to some players that did say or felt about a new hero. But looking at the picks, I won't be surprised to see, let's see, a Valheim ban. We won't be surprised to see maybe another teamy ban, another support ban from both sides.
Alam mo, a few months ago, hindi ka magsasabi na hindi ako magugulat pag binan si Valheim eh. Pero that's just how the meta has shaped up over the last few patches. Pero yun nga, looking at the bans here, double tank bans on the side of Bren Esports, really mitigating the engage na gustong i-pick dito ng Matchbox. Tingnan natin, ano yung magiging final ban netong Matchbox Gaming?
I mean, that's a good ban. Kind of try, you can go for a pull, go for easy invades, but the thing is, I think when it comes to UP, so you would say blue side has control. Now, are we going to be seeing a Valheim enable in game number 3?
Who knows? Maybe we get to see Valheim. I think everyone, especially those who are watching, will be very interested to see that push through. But all tank bans here coming from Bren Esports. Mukhang ayaw nila ayaw nila harapin yung mga kunat na picks dito. But still, a lot available. But, okay, Vulcan.
Yep.
Kanina pa natin binabanggit itong Valheim. Lumabas na nga. First pick Valheim. Hindi kami nagbibiro for Matchbox Gaming.
And that's going to be MaxBox Gaming taking on one of the OP picks currently in this meta. So, again, Teamy was left open. I was expecting...
I know you like Teamy.
Yes, I do like Teamy, and I was expecting a Teamy ban. It did slip through, and looks like, I just said it before, Marja is enabled for this tournament, and now it's going to be Bren Esports picking it on their red side.
Yeah, and tignan natin kung ano yung isasama nitong Matchbox Gaming with their Valheim. They need a bit more damage to try and punch through because of looking at the first 2 picks here of Bren Esports, marami silang paraan na mag-reset ng mga team fights. So I'm expecting more damage to come out from Matchbox Gaming, and I do believe they have picked decent damage dealers here.
But we do expect a lot of assassins coming in from Bren Esports. They do have control. Long extended team fights are in their favor. They do have Marja. Not much CC, more of an annoying hero, if you would say. I think our viewers out there may understand what I'm talking about. But looking at the last picks here, you would expect maybe a Ross and another Alice. So we don't see the double supports, but we do see a lot of pickup potential coming from MaxBox Gaming.
Yeah, tingnan natin kung ano yung final pick dito ng Bren Esports. And like you mentioned, they do have a bit of an annoying heroes to deal with, especially the Flash. Kaya niyang pumasok, deal damage, get out, tas wala kang bawi sa kanya. Could be something very oppressive to face in the game, but do they lock in both DC superheroes?
I would
Flash and Batman.
Yeah, I was expecting maybe a marksman, but looks like we won't be having that here. We'll be having a Batman. Not that great of a hero.
I mean, comparing the two drafts, Vulcan, diba, on the side of MaxBox Gaming, they do have marksmen, so extended fights will be in their favor, especially in terms of DPS. But look at the burst potential on the side of Bren Esports. If they're able to single out a member of MaxBox, sobrang dali para sa kanila na mag-all-in dun sa single target na yun.
And it takes a bit of a long time for those marksmen to actually take down the enemy heroes. So, Team E is there on the side, red side of Bren Esports. So who knows, guys? Challengers, looks like we are ready to load onto the entire battlefield. But before that, we're going to be giving you some information again coming in this Sunday. So a lot of things are in store for you guys. Surprise for you guys to look out for the gacha prizes, especially there's the Marja, there's Baldwin. Baldwin, one of the newest hero entering the battlefield. I think a lot of hype was surrounding on Baldwin, looking at his ultimate mechanic where he can just submerge his target, especially epic monsters.
Have you had any luck with the gacha, Vulcan? Sinuswerte ka ba kapag ka nag-roll ka?
I wish, but at times I'm not that lucky, but looks like onto the mid lane, immediately members of MaxBox Gaming not having a good start at this point, forced to give a first blood to the Batman.
Yeah, unfortunately, mukhang si Peace Boy minala siya doon. Siya yung nahuli doon sa level 1 fights that are very, very popular yung sa AOV. And Bren Esports are still going for this. And like we mentioned earlier during the drafting phase, kung nakahanap sila ng single target, sobrang dali para sa comp nila na i-lock down at i-all-in yun now. Babawi itong MaxBox
That
Gaming.
was a great three-man start from the Alice there, but looks like the Battleline will be there to take down the Team E. Looks like the 42 was a great engage there. They're not stopping there just yet. They're now going on to the Batman. Ross picks it up there for a 2-for-1 kill score.
Yeah, an interesting move there by MaxBox Gaming. Di ba normally pag nakakita tayo ng invade on one side, imi-mirror lang ito ng kabilang team. Kaso instead of going for that mirror on the invade, MaxBox Gaming actually looked for the fight against Bren Esports, confident enough to step forward. And I think nagulat itong Bren Esports. They're forced to give up their kill lead very, very early. So immediately momentum swinging back to the side of MaxBox Gaming.
Okay, you get the first blood, that's great, but looks like MaxBox Gaming, they take away the might buff, they take away the sage buff. So they have advantage here. Looks like the invade worked in favor, just getting the first blood, but that's it. So I think when it comes to Puritude, especially coming from the Team E, that's the engage that Bren Esports is looking for.
Yeah, and like we keep mentioning, maganda yung engage nitong Bren Esports. Kapag nakahanap silang target, sobrang taas ng single target na damage na kaya nilang iba to on the side of MaxBox Gaming. But if they aren't able to single out that target, kapag nabuhay yung MaxBox Gaming, they are gonna win those extended fights.
And checking out the Team E level 2 is their ultimate unlock for Peace Boy. Valorant level 4. The dragon has just spawned right now in the battlefield, Arcadia.
Nagka-camping etong si Timmy dito sa my mid.
Just waiting there. Manimo, he can catch at least Gambit off guard there, but looks like it's gonna be MaxBox Gaming. Saying hello to Bren Esports right there. The Abyssal Dragon, low on health, 2k, 1k. It goes towards MaxBox Gaming for that secure.
Yeah, the ultimate from the crest just to secure that dragon. Syempre, hindi maka-abante itong Bren Esports. Just forced to give up the first dragon, but it's a fight mid.
There's an engage going on towards the Valiant. Looks like he does back away, flickers away from that. The flash beat deep. Looks like Leather will back away. But in the end, MaxBox Gaming not only getting the 2 kills they had in the start and topping it up with the Abyssal Dragon.
Yeah, and you see there, I think yun yung issue dun sa draft ng Bren Esports. Kapag hindi nila nahuli, once they burn their cooldowns, there's just nothing left in the tank for them. They can't afford to stay in those extended fights against double marksmen from MaxBox Gaming. So if they miss their opportunities, may hirapan talaga sila na maka-secure ng kahit anong lead dito sa game.
I like the engage coming from, yeah, you were talking about the lead, you're talking about the engages. Let's see Bren Esports go for the engage. They have the Alice, they have the Hesitate, they also have the stun to try and delay Bren Esports from getting on top of them. But looks like Kuroki, my god, cannot be targeted. Goes under the tower there. Gambit going in for tower dive up in the air there. He does flicker away, going push back there. Gambit flickers away there. Looks like MaxBox Gaming did not take down the Marja.
Yeah, Gambit was a bit too optimistic trying to go for that dive. Of course, Kuroki on that margin is very, very difficult to kill. And since MaxBox Gaming invested so many members on this lane. Unfortunately, in an opposite one, they lost the tower, but here comes an engage by the Flash.
That's going to be a lot of damage on by Delta. He does get pushed away by the Crush Ultimate under the tower. That's going to be a lot of damage. Kuroki, can he get a kill? Nice stun from Rubix. Does give him some time together. Other side of the jungle there. There's going to be a pitch there. That's going to be a takedown. Alice gets taken down by Teamy.
Yeah,
Close
great
call.
find there by Bren Esports. They're able to even up the kill score, but I wonder what objectives they can take afterwards. Wala pa ring Dragon, still 10 seconds till that thing spawns, but they are securing the area. Mas marami silang members na.
They're getting their places in place, trying to be ready for the Abyssal Dragon. 4 members on the scene there. Looks like Bren Esports, they did give away the first Abyssal Dragon. They don't want MaxBox Gaming to get the second one.
Tignan mo yung pwesto ng Teamy dito. We know that he is the engage from Bren Esports. He's camping this bush, trying to zone the members of MaxBox Gaming away. He is successful to even up the Dragon score.
Great zone by the team to just buy some time and trying to zone out the Alice for that to deny the stun. But looks like to finish off what happened there in the Riverside, guys, Bren Esports takes away the second Abyssal Dragon, the first one on their side.
And you know, that's really nice play coming from their team. Even though they were forced to give up those early kills and that invade, they're able to even up in terms of objectives. And I like the fact that Bren Esports are kind of pushing back MaxBox Gaming. It looks like Gambit wants to try to find a pick here, kaso nakita na siya ni Anti-Hero, not gonna find anything there.
And especially Kuroki doing a really good job. Alone in the Dragon lane, just alone, trying to zone out Beast Boy, trying to buy some time. But looks like Leather will join him. Teamy trying his best. I know that Arcadia wants to look for those pickups, but at this point, MaxBox Gaming, they know how to move around the map, avoiding those high traffic areas.
Yeah, and we see here a bit of passive play from both teams. Nakikita natin na wala pang malaking objective na paglalabanan on the map. That's why we don't see both teams going for those risky moves. And we did mention that whoever wins this game will be put on match point. So both sides not willing to risk to make that mistake. But speaking of mistakes, I thought they caught out Anti-Hero, but
Does get away with a few dashes.
Yeah.
But looks like in the bot side, Vakat ready to engage. Arcadia going to flicker in. Stun does connect onto the crash there. Under
Comes
tower,
Gambit.
trying to crouch him down. He goes down for the execute under tower. And that's going to be Gambit securing it on the bot lane. Taking down 2 members of Bren Esports at a cost of 1.
yeah, 2 for 1 in that trade. The Crash just way too tanky and good responder by Gambit, but here's a catch.
Kuroki. That's a nice catch. Can he get away? That's going to be flicker in. Stun does connect. Push him back. That's going to be Beast Boy. Taking down the Marja.
Yeah, another find there by MaxBox Gaming. No objectives yet though to pressure. The towers are still fairly healthy. Leather is in this bush. The Flash, can he get anyone here?
Trying to chunk down Rubix, but he is respecting the numbers in the bot side.
Yeah, not able to find a pick here. And I think Bren Esports need to move as a unit. Kung gusto nilang mahanap yung mga kills na yun, they need to layer down their crowd control and their damage. It can't be just one single member. I mean, Leather can chunk out members, yes, but can he actually take them down? That's still a big no. Now Arcadia is trying to push this in. The tower is fairly low, but looks like MaxBox Gaming want to do something about that.
While the team is busy in the bot side, looks like Arcadia does survive. Abyssal Dragon will be taken down by Bren Esports. The third one and the second one for their side. That's an easy take, an easy objective on the red side.
Yeah, and you know, the reason why Bren Esports are able to secure that Dragon, despite Leather, kahit na hindi niya napapatay yung Alice, the fact that he can chunk out members of MaxBox Gaming forces the rest of their team to move back, not step forward, and gives so much more control for Bren Esports. Despite being down in kills, they're actually securing quite a bit of objectives on the map here.
That's how you can wrap up that goal. Looking at the goal here, guys, not much of a deficit for Bren Esports. MaxBox Gaming, yes, they have more kills, but that's the second Drake, the second Abyssal Dragon going to the side of Bren Esports. Looks like they're keeping up in the economy.
Yeah, and it seems like nag-hesitate itong Bren Esports Vulcan to go for those full-on fights. But speaking of fights,
that's something you want to go for.
Yeah, that's something you do want to go for. Just as I said, they were hesitating to go for fights. They catch out the Valheim, of course, very squishy. Very easy for them to take him down. And once more, the tower being taken down. Here's a 1v1, but these are 2 tanky heroes.
Alpaca does have his ultimate baiting in Kuroki. There's the bait. Okay, he backs away. There's Arcadia. That's enough for Alpaca to back away, but they at least burn that ult. Next Abyssal Dragon will spawn in 43 seconds here. But seeing how the map is being played out, Bren Esports, they're done with top and bot. They're going to the mid lane.
Yeah, I knew that ult might be big since that means MaxBox Gaming can't go for those plays, and there's actually a bit of a misplay there. Gets chunked out since he was too greedy over the tower. Tignan natin, anong magagawa dito ng MaxBox Gaming? Mukhang hindi nila mauhuli si The Flash.
Okay, we can see here Arcadia. Oh, he already popped the 42 there. Kuroki just in the bot side. Trying to flush out the members of MaxBox Gaming, but checking out the top side. The Valheim has to be careful. He did get ganked and get taken down by Bren Esports. They're playing the macro here pretty good.
Yeah, you know, despite Valheim being first pick for MaxBox Gaming, hindi pa natin nakikita yung full value niya on their side. He's been fairly quiet throughout the game. After picking up that first kill early, he's just been sitting back and farming, not really interacting with the rest of Bren Esports. And tingnan mo, once more, the Dragon gonna go over the side of Bren Esports. Feeling ko hindi mo challenge to ng MaxBox Gaming. They're not even gonna find any exit kills. Another free objective going over to Bren Esports.
Man, they need to time it well, but looks like it's gonna be a mid lane siege there. Flash going in with the speed 4. He's getting 3 members taken down. That's gonna be Arcadia. 22 just stunning down the Crash. They're gonna go for the side. Let's see the Batman. Can't go for the pick as their anti-hero misses his stun. And that's gonna be Alphaga going over for the Flash. And it's gonna be a wipeout on the Bren side. It's going to be MaxBox Gaming coming up top. Kuroki forced to flicker away. The teammate can't do anything. 3 members completely wiped out from the mid lane. Make that 4. Can it be an ace? Let's see. Arcadia can't go away. Low on health. One more hit and there he goes.
Yeah, only anti-hero is left alive here. I don't think he can defend against the members of MaxBox Gaming. That was a big win in the team fight. And gaya nga na sinabi natin, kapag hindi nahanap ng Bren Esports yung single target na catch, every extended fight will just go in favor of MaxBox Gaming. Kanina tahimik sila sa objectives, but after that big team fight, ubos ang buildings ng Bren Esports.
One small misstep, one small engage there. I think Bren Esports, they were too focused on the crash. Check out the health of Alfaka. You can see that his critical health here. Not backing away just yet, and that is greedy!
That's unlucky. If I were to use a word to describe that, medyo minalas dun. Gaya nga na sinabi mo, he was already critical HP too much. Trying to bite off too much.
Super malas. And he's now going for the Dark Slayer. This gives Bren Esports a very funny opportunity to go for the Dark Slayer. The crash is down. The Fennec is gone. Arcadia for the zone. Can he go for the stun? He goes in. Double stun right there. Pops being your bro. He'll come back from the dead. The Dark Slayer goes to Bren Esports.
Yeah, quite an unfortunate series of events there for MaxBox Gaming. After winning the fight, after destroying building after building on the side of Bren Esports, the crest goes down to the Dragon, which gives the Dark Slayer over to Bren Esports. And alam mo, Vulcan, we're back to square one there. Now, MaxBox Gaming need to find another fight. They need to find that great engage.
This is pretty smart. Bren Esports, I think, you know,
babawian na nila yung Dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna go for it.
Full HP na si Alphacat.
Yes. Secure it. There it goes down. That's gonna be the enraged Abyssal Dragon going to MaxBox Gaming. Bren Esports can't go for the contest. They have already the Dark Slayer. Arcadia looking for the engage. Changes his mind. He's being spotted by that spirit. Here is the slow. It's gonna be Alphaca going in. Pops the ultimate, pushes him to the wall. And it's gonna be the Batman trying to get away. Leather gets spotted again. It's gonna be MaxBox Gaming pushing in the bot side. Now MBX, they're backing away from the jungle.
Yeah, kaso that wasn't the entire team of MaxBox Gaming. Their Valheim actually got caught out, but they find a pick onto Leather. Where did the Flash go?
He went to another dimension there, so that's gonna be a pop going for Bren Esports. They now lack one member. Anti-hero left alone on the top side. Gambit is there. He's hoping. Let's not. He sees him. Anti-hero going to P-Sport. Can he go for a double kill? Going in. There's the shield. Other members of Bren Esports going for the pile-up. Arcadia going for the stun. It's going to be the Fennec. Oh no. KO! That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that is almost an outplay by Anti-Hero. Kaso masyadong maraming members na nila itong MaxBox Gaming. Buong barangay para lang mapatay ito si Anti-Hero. But what objectives do they take off of the map? Just a few kills, and gaya nga na sinabi ko, nag-reset lang itong buong game. After that series of events which led to Bren Esports picking up the Dark Slayer, it seems like neither team has secured momentum in this third game.
I think when it comes to advantage, it's gonna be MBX. Hang on, Alpaca, does he have his ultimate? It's up right now. He's waiting for the right time. There's the heal. Great engage from Leather, but in the end, he gets popped. It's gonna be a bad situation there. He comes back from the dead. It's gonna be Robex. Can he go for the stun there? There's the engage from Antihero with the stab best. That's a great Ryu! Going for the two-man stun plus the shield. It's gonna be Bren Esports now pushing back. MaxBox Gaming. It's the Batman going on to Rubix. Alice is there for the shield and the heal. He goes back. Meanwhile, the Valheim in the bot side going for the push.
Yeah, once again, Bren Esports are able to find the fight. I think the biggest factor for them winning that one is the Valheim wasn't with the rest of his team. Wala yung pangalawang marksman netong MaxBox Gaming. So Bren Esports are able to take advantage of that situation. They're able to single out those targets. And despite Leather going critically low, sila pa rin yung nanalo ng fight and they hold on for now.
With only 2 high ground towers staying, yes, Bren Esports at this point, they're really holding on. But they can still try and wrap up this game. But MaxBox Gaming coming from game 2, this is great. Because if in the end, MaxBox Gaming, they do get the upper hand here, this will be a really good game for MBX. They will be at match point. They will be in control.
Oh, no, Batman!
Batman getting stunned, getting chunked down so hard, forcing Arcadia to pop the ultimate. That burns the resurrection there. So looks like it's gonna be MBX winning that fight, zoning them out.
And alam mo, I think ito yung tamang decision na yung ginagawa ng MaxBox Gaming before they were losing fights because they didn't have the Valheim with the rest of their team. But now he's farmed up. He's been quiet throughout the game. But once he groups up with MaxBox Gaming, it becomes incredibly difficult for Bren Esports to actually win a full-on 5v5 extended fight. And nakita natin, di ba, nahuli yung Batman. Everyone's forced to back off because they know they can't take the fight.
I mean, choosing your fights, looks like MaxBox Gaming, they know how to choose their own fights towards their success, especially for Bren Esports.
Oh no, Timmy!
Arcadia does not have the ultimate up just yet. Forced to back off. This is respect being shown by Bren Esports. But the Dark Slayer timer is up right now. 38 seconds left to spawn.
Yeah, I wonder who will make the first error here. Who gets caught? Because it kind of feels like kapag may nahuli itong Bren Esports, everything might fall apart for MaxBox Gaming.
Yeah, I agree with you there. One small misstep and they could cost them the game here. The waves are not in their favor. BE being pressured and Batman on the map there going for the sides. Can he go for the back line? He's a bit too far.
Is he delaying?
He is right now on the roll. That's going to be the Speed Force trying to chunk them down. He goes back under tower. Trying to buy some time, but great stun coming from the Alice there. Forcing at the ultimate. Here comes the Batman. Can he do something there? The Airy will be backing away with a few dashes there. Arcadia trying to flash away. He does flicker away from the wall, but in the end, it's going to be Alpaca taking him down. It's going to be another high ground tower for the cost of Bren Esports. The core is now exposed. Can Bren Esports buy them some time? The flash going in. Backs away. Very low. Oh, that's sad. Peace
might be it.
Finishes him off. Valheim takes down the Yari. Right now with only 2 members of Bren Esports left. I think for MaxBox Gaming, they will wrap up this game number 3. Last stand for Bren Esports. Can they buy time? No. Last stand? No. Denied of the ace. And that's going to be game set.
Yeah, wala tayong makikita miracle defense doon para sa Bren Esports. MaxBox Gaming just pushing through as 5 and finally when the Valheim joined the team, they are able to end the game and they pick up momentum in this best of 5. They're now up 2-1 over Bren Esports.
That was a great gameplay by MaxBox Gaming. At the start, it was a bit slow. Bren Esports showed life in game number 3, especially that great invade. But when it came towards the late game, when it came to objectives, decision making, and not to mention pickups, it's great that MPX managed to just catch up in sheer gold. But check out the stats.
Yeah, and looking at the stats here, quite a bit of damage actually coming from the Valheim. The first pick paying off for MaxBox Gaming. Pero you did sort of feel that Bren Esports could have had the comeback after that fumble around the Dark Slayer where they were able to secure it for their side, but just too much of the 5v5 on the side of MaxBox.
I mean, it was great that Bren Esports, they took away the Dark Slayer. But it was also smart of MBX to take down the Enraged Abyssal Dragon. Due to the debuff that Bren Esports has, they could not go for the contest there. So now we're going to be moving on to the next game. shortly after a few transition there, but going into game 3, MBX, can they really just cut down Bren Esports at this Battle Cup Season 3?
Yeah, I think Vulcan yung tanong sa putak natin ngayon is whether or not Bren Esports can force that game 5. Diba? Kasi their current backs against the wall, they're fighting for their tournament life here. And if MBX are able to close it out in 4 games, then that'd be very good for their side. Just the question is whether or not Bren Esports can force that 5th game.
Man, I wonder. But judging from game number 3 and going in seeing game number 2, you can expect, I would say, all the way to game 5, seeing how the games are being played, especially in game 1, where Bren Esports, this is the type of team that we did see, especially in the playoffs. Yes, quarterfinals there, how they did have a rough start, but in the end, they did reset. They got what they want, and they moved up to this stage. But MBX, one of the few teams go in for that live event grand stage.
Yeah, and it's still looking very close between the two teams. I mean, despite Bren Esports losing that game, there were a lot of moments where you felt that they could have taken control over the side of MaxBox Gaming. But unfortunately, we did mention the main weakness of their draft during the pick and ban phase, that they couldn't take any extended fights. And kung hindi nila nahanap yung catches on the side of MBX, it's just quite unfortunate na and they weren't able to control anything on the rest of the map.
I was hoping the team to be a huge asset towards team fights, but seeing how MBX, they did manage to split up the members, or it was Bren Esports splitting up the members and denying the team fight. They went for pickups, especially in the DS lane, and where they took down the Valheim. So, your thoughts, Chisto, seeing how games are being played out here in the Battle Cup?
Well, I feel like for the side of MBX, they don't have to adjust anything. They can keep continuing playing this style where they have 2 marks. When as for Bren Esports, you need to find an answer. If they want to continue playing this style where they want to go for pickoffs but unfortunately can't win the team fights, they're just not going to move forward.
Let's see. Does Bren Esports have the answer towards game 4, going to game 4 against MBX? Or will it be MBX just cutting them down and moving on towards the grand final stage? So, this is the Battle Cup Season 3, and once again, we are your shoutcasters. My name is Vulcan, with me is Chisto. Thank you for joining in to game number 4. Right now to the drafting phase.
Yeah, so mukhang walang magbabago on the side of Bren Esports. Still banning away tanks here, starting off with the Senyel. As for MBX, gonna take away the Chognar.
Same bands. Same starting bands we're seeing here, especially the Aram. Last ban, let's see, Bren Esports, they do have control. We're seeing a Violet ban. We can still expect a lot of bans
Last
here.
game, we saw Mina ban come out from the side of Bren Esports. But let's see kung mag-a-adjust sila for this 4th game. Tingnan natin, they are still waiting on it.
We also did see...
No.
Wait a minute, that's an Omen ban. We haven't seen... maybe they don't see the huge value in a team, so they won't be banning it out. Instead, they'll be taking away the Slims. Valheim is again left open. So instead, Bren Esports will be trading that off with a team. Mina and Valheim. You mentioned the Mina, Chisto.
Yeah, this was one of the picks that Bren Esports did ban away during that 3rd game, but since he decided to go for the teamy, MaxBox Game actually no hesitation locking in both these picks. Parang planado na nila na pag open tong dalawang to, we instantly go for these, and we know what Mina can do. You can immediately set up a lot of engage, a lot of fights with your pull in and your taunt. So expect a lot of engages, and we did mention not many adjustments need to be made by MaxBox Game. They can continue to play this dual marksman style. Now, let's see what they decide to pair this with.
Man, a Wonder Woman. It's been a long time since I haven't seen a Wonder Woman being played in the Valiant server for the PH. So now we'll be seeing it. Great, as you said. I think when it comes to invades, MaxBox Gaming, they don't have anything to be afraid of. Yorn and Hero will be locked in for Bren Esports. So yes, we're going to be seeing a marksman there. But this is going to be a huge burst of damage. But in the MBX, instead of getting the Predator, they're going to be getting the Flash. 5 seconds left. They need to decide. But the Valheim and Mina pick, that's something they need to be careful of.
Yeah, and ito na naman yung situation where MaxBox Gaming decided to first rotation pick their Valheim, and we did see what 1717 was able to do during that previous game. Yung throughout the game, he was just passively farming. He did get caught out a couple of times, but kung hayaan na naman siya netong Bren Esports na makapag-farm, makapag-scale, and get a few items on that, he's gonna be very difficult to deal with, especially looking at the engage that MBX brings to the table.
Man, MBX with high spirits coming from Game 3 right now at match point.
Taas na momentum nila.
Yes, for Bren Esports, a bit pressured at this point. Will they be giving the series towards MaxBox Gaming? Who knows?
I don't
but
think they want to.
They don't want to, of course not. So, your thoughts on Game 4. What do you think Bren Esports can do, or what they've learned from Game number 3?
Well, I think they've learned that it's very difficult to team fight against double marksmen, but for this game specifically, I feel like they have more tools to actually last in those team fights. They do have the Crash on their side. They do have a marksman now. They have the Yorn. So in an extended fight, I feel like they do have better chances compared to the previous game.
So challengers, you heard from Chisto there. So I want to know what you guys think and who are you rooting for. Let us know in the Facebook live chat, or if you're watching on our YouTube channel,
Level
let us know
1!
in the live chat.
Whoa!
Level 1 invades are great when you have a teammate.
Alam mo si Peace Boy din yung namatay nung previous game eh. So maybe sinasadya ng MaxBox yun. Maybe swerte na mamatay si Peace Boy na level 1. Kaso, that's 2 kills over to the side of Bren Esports very quickly, Vulcan.
That's the power of the teaming. When you have that AoE stun, that's more than enough for the members of any team, especially MBX, to back up, giving the first blood and another kill, making 2 kills for the Yorn.
Yeah, and that's actually big, giving 2 kills over to that marksman immediately puts him in an advantageous position. Tignan natin though kung makakabawi itong MaxBox Gaming, because remember, during that previous game, kahit na Bren Esports yung lumamang nung early phases, MaxBox Gaming were able to find a few kills onto their side. Now, Anti-Hero is getting chunked out, but he has a teamie for backup.
Stun coming in. Can he take down the Valheim there? Stun connects onto the Valheim, pulls him back. 17-17, quite low, flickers away. That is a smooth move by MaxBox Gaming, especially the fact that, okay, the Valheim used everything he got, but at least denied the kill.
Yeah, and of course, Leather getting 3-manned in the mid lane. Flash yung bawi dito kay Gambit. He is the fastest man alive, so he's able to harass and get out fairly quickly.
And you do like the Flash, that's your favorite DC character.
Oh yeah, that's a fun fact for everyone out there. Flash is my favorite DC character, but it looks like he is a bit caught out here.
I think your favorite character is about to die, but he does flicker away. Close call for Gambit. Looks like the teamie is there just for the zone. Abyssal Dragon has now spawned.
You know, just real quick, since we're seeing the Flash right now, my question is whether or not this is the Barry Allen Flash or the Wally West Flash. It's just quick thoughts by me, but going back into this game, Dragon has spawned right now, so both teams are looking at that objective.
For me, Barry Allen's the best Flash, so
He
yeah.
is the best
Yeah,
Flash,
best
there's
Flash.
no question.
Looks like it's gonna be Mina. Picked up, pulls back Arcadia. Arcadia going in for re-engage. Okay, not enough time for Peace Boy to actually respond there. Okay, Yorn and Rogue going in for the Abyssal Dragon. One room is right there. Mina is getting zoned out by Liliana, by Leather. That's gonna be her first Abyssal Dragon going to the hands of Bren Esports.
Yeah, and alam mo, Vulcan, I also feel like MBX can't afford to take the fight there yet. Seeing a lot of level 3s onto their side, Mina not even having her ultimate yet, meaning wala pa yung malaking taunt, but here's a catch onto Peace Boy.
Great catch. Not only that they managed to take down the Abyssal Dragon, now they've taken down the Spirit Sentinels, setting up for success later parts in the game.
Yeah, something has awoken on the side of Bren Esports. They're playing pretty compact here. They're picking up all the kills and not giving away any to MaxBox Gaming, but Caster Curse, I guess, just as we say they're not giving any, one of them dies.
I think when it comes to MaxBox Gaming, yeah, let Bren Esports group up, but we'll do the same thing there, answering their group up from the top side, from the DS side, right towards the Dragon lane. So, Teamy Liliana gonna be the ones to defend the lane here. Rubik's from the side, going for the Might Golem. 4 members of MaxBox Gaming on the scene there. Hang on, engaged by Arcadia. Getting chunked down a lot. Backs off.
Yeah, not gonna find anything there. Hindi naka-group up yung entire team ng MBX, so they don't go for that big engage. Things are just gonna reset here. Now, Gambit going for a trade. He's able to get out, but he is still 2 levels behind compared to Leather.
4 minutes into this game here. Kill score 3-2-1. So, Bren Esports having a goal lead of just nearing 2,000. They seem to be the ones to control, but we'll see as the next Abyssal Dragon will spawn. Mistakes can happen when you are at match point in a best of 5 series.
Yeah, and you know, the pressure could also get to you trying to end the best of 5. It seems like right now, Bren Esports are controlling that momentum. Like you mentioned, Vulcan, see Rubik's trying to go for that pull-in, kaso hindi niya mahanap yung teammate. Now, Arcadia has been camping the bushes in mid lane quite often. Now, we're gonna see a big fight here.
That's a great flash. That's gonna be the crush going in for the ultimate. Oh, the pull from the Mina, setting up kills. A 1-for-1 trade so far, but gets denied. Arcadia had the ultimate up. That's gonna be a fight won by Bren Esports.
Yeah, the teammate paying off that pick with his ultimate, able to reset that fight. Almost a 1-for-1, but since they have the Resurrection available, not gonna find anything in return. Dragon actually going over to Bren Esports once again.
The second Abyssal Dragon will fall to their hands, not giving anything to MaxBox Gaming. Not only that, Antihero did manage to push out Tier 3 Tower in the DS lane. Looks like Gambit going in for the defense. Great defense there, trying to deny the push.
Yeah, and you know, I love how Bren Esports have instantly grabbed back the momentum despite dropping that previous game. It seems like inalis na nila sa memory nila yun, Vulcan. Nakalimutan na nila na natalo sila. It's not like they're playing on match point. They're just playing so that they win this game. And so far, that mindset seems to have been paying off. Now, Rubik's trying to find something, but not gonna get it.
He did try, yeah. Looks like Beast Boy is gonna be taken down. Kuroki, right low. He has the shield. Arcadia's just there, just in case. Arcadia did have the ultimate up, so Beast Boy trying to set up kills. In the end, did not happen, but Antihero, look at him. We don't want to push out the DS lane.
Yeah, everywhere. MaxBox Gaming just constantly being pushed back by Bren Esports. I'm seeing a lot of advantage in terms of levels. Now, Peace Boy.
Lasso of Truth for the engage. Peace Boy is there, zoning out Antihero. He does back off. Close call, but looking at the map here, looks like they're distributing themselves equally here, 2-2-1, 2-2, but looking at how Bren Esports, they feel very confident. Looking at the bot side, the melee makes it 4. The Abyssal Dragon timer is 27 seconds. The tower is low.
Yeah, saan nahanapin ng MaxBox Gaming yung opening nila dito, Vulcan? Kasi kanina pa sila tinutulak netong Bren Esports pabalik. Where do they find that engage? Gambit going in for those little pokes can't be all that they do here. They need to try and find a fight. They do have ways to start them off, but hindi sila binibigyan ng opportunity netong Bren Esports. And I think a big fact is they do have the teamie on their side, that if MaxBox Gaming aren't able to find that great fight, teamie is gonna reset it and Bren Esports can just roll over MaxBox Gaming as another free dragon goes over to the side of Bren.
When you talk about MaxBox Gaming, their style is but burst, especially Gambit on the flash. And when he's not that ahead, kind of lacking in gold, it's gonna be a hard time for him to go in. He's going for the small pokes, but when the time is right, maybe when all the members of MaxBox Gaming are quite low, I think that's gonna be the time for Bren Esports to get the jump on them.
Yeah, where do they find that fight, Vulcan? They need to try and find something here. It's only Gambit constantly poking at Bren Esports. Kaso, they're going for these pokes. Oh, here's a fight.
Engage coming in. Oh my god, Liliana gets popped, but Arcadia was there for the ultimate, for the resurrect. And MaxBox Gaming, without any more burst left, they back off while the Wonder Woman does flicker away. Close call for the Wonder Woman there. Well, looking at Bren Esports, they know the members of MaxBox Gaming are low.
Oh,
they
Dark Slayer.
march to the Dark Slayer.
Yeah, and nakita mo dun yung value ng first pick na teamie ng Bren Esports. Sinatry mahanap ng opening itong MaxBox Gaming. Kaso they're not able to find it. Now, Gambit is
Close call.
not gonna die, but the Dark Slayer, Vulcan.
Oh,
Very low.
That is a risky call. Rubik's with the Mina going in for the front. Can he go for the pull? Antihero going away. It's gonna be Rubik's with the $1 million pull, but in the end, it's going to be Kuroki just buying some time. He's the one taking down. Same with Arcadia. The Dark Slayer also falling to the hands of MaxBox Gaming. Oh, this is bad for Bren Esports.
Yan, nagsasabihin dito ang MaxBox Gaming, salamat sa leash, Bren Esports. Pinamigay nyo lang yung Dark Slayer na yun. They're able to find that opening. Bren Esports finally tripped over and made a mistake. Now, how much can MaxBox Gaming actually take here? They have the Dragon, they have the Dark Slayer. They're pushing forward strong.
This is gonna cost them a lot of towers. Will it also cost them the high ground tower? Now only tier 1. Okay, tier 2 and tier 2, but top and bot are on the last third standings there. Okay, that's gone now. Only 2 high ground towers stand in the way for MaxBox Gaming to take away the best of 5 series here.
Look at how much MaxBox Gamer were able to get back after that one error by Bren Esports. Bawing-bawi itong MBX after that slip-up, Vulcan. And man, momentum has immediately shifted over to the side of MaxBox Gaming.
Man, when it comes to Dark
Oh, no,
Slayer...
TV.
Oh, can he get away? Rubix backing off. The stun does connect. Immediately gets away from that. Dark Slayer is a buff that is meant to be used to end the game as soon as they can. So that was a huge risk that BE took and did not pay well. The Vessel Dragon has spawned. Can BE pull off the same trick that MaxBox Gaming did? Will they be the ones to take down the enraged Abyssal Dragon? Who knows?
Pag nahuli na naman si Arcadia dito, might be, oh, he gets popped.
Without even using the ultimate MBX. Are you kidding me? Dark Slayer and now the Abyssal Dragon and Rage. Are they going to be the ones to take away 2 huge key objectives? That's a secure.
Find more.
Can they go for it? Speed Force, Kuroki flickering in. Very close call. Kuroki quite low. Looks like Gambit goes back in time to get the health. Now, BE. What can they do here? They have lost the Dark Slayer. They have even lost the Abyssal Dragon.
You know, Vulcan, a couple of minutes ago, pag sinabi ko sa'yo na MaxBox Gaming yung mananalo sa game na to, you wouldn't have believed me, but looking at how they've clawed their way back into this game, it looks like Bren Esports are kind of taken by surprise because they were controlling majority of that match, but right now it seems like we have a bit of a pause.
Bit of a small technical difficulty on our side, but don't worry, it won't be long. They will give you back game number 4, which is match point. And MaxBox Gaming, for those challengers just tuning in right now, to give you guys a short recap of what happened and why we think that this could be the last game is because MaxBox Gaming, not only that they were able to steal the Dark Slayer, they also got the enraged Abyssal Dragon.
Yeah, and going back, diba, gaya ng sinabi ko sa'yo, gaya na nabanggit ko earlier, if I told you that MaxBox Gaming would be winning this game, you wouldn't have believed me because Bren Esports were in control for the first few minutes. Kaso, just that one slip-up around the Dark Slayer, MaxBox Gaming able to find the maximum punish. And it seems like Bren Esports just are hesitating to make any moves right now. They're waiting for MaxBox to slip up, but if MBX don't slip up, they're just gonna keep constantly pushing forward.
You cannot stand under your high ground towers because we are seeing a double marksman. And not only that, that Fennec just popped that tower, so MaxBox Gaming with only little time left on their buff, BE making the smart move, buying time for themselves. But Amina looking for a hook there. Gambit scouts them out, going for a poke, does not connect.
Yeah, where does Bren Esports look for that engage? Look at that tower go down quickly.
Damage coming from the flash, and yeah, the tower does not stand. The Liliana trying to go for the Valheim there. Gambit going in, goes back. Close call. One high ground tower is down. Now onto the top side. The waves are in their favor.
Yeah, this is very methodical by MaxBox Gaming. You take one tower down in one lane, you go and move towards the other. Bren Esports, kailangan nyo maghanap ng something. Need to force something out. Here comes the ultimate.
Oh, and that's the pickup. Look at the members of MBX, quite low, but the flash going in with the speed force. They back up. The Wonder Woman takes him down, but check out MBX. They're getting slaughtered by Leather, by the Liliana and Peaceful. Gambit is there. It's gonna be a wipeout with only the Valheim standing.
Yeah, can they actually catch up to the Valheim? I think not, Vulcan, but only the Crest goes down. The triple kill onto Leather means that they are able to hold on just for now. But how much can Bren Esports take back here? They do have a lot of damage to offer onto these towers. See natin gaano kahaba, gaano kalayo ang may tutulak nila.
My God, Anti here with a great crush engage and leaving Leather to deal the damage. Same with the support from the York and the Teamy. They managed to take down 2 towers in return from that ace.
Yeah, and you would have expected na mas marami yung makukuha nila, but 1-7-1-7 being alive means that they can't constantly push forward. Now, here comes the catch on the leather.
If he gets it now, this could be bad call. There's the flicker in. Alpaca misses the lasso up to 40. Engage. Arcadia Pulse being a bro. They're making it time. They're wasting the time. And they deny the resurrection. And that's going to be MaxBox Gaming going for the exit kills. 3 members of Bren Esports have been removed.
Yeah, the overextension there by the members of Bren Esports. The teamie, they caught him out now. I think with this numbers advantage, it's 2v5. Kaya bang makahanap na miracle netong Bren Esports because it looks like MaxBox Gaming want to push for the finish.
Man, when it comes to finish, go for it here. And could this be MaxBox Gaming taking away the best of 5 series? We can see Arcadia, 6
Looking
seconds
over.
left. The core is the only thing they're looking at. What an upset. MaxBox Gaming takes it away with a 3-1.
Yeah, it ends. We're not gonna go to a game 5, Vulcan, but man, that game, it almost looked like Bren Esports could have ended. They had so much control, but that one slip up, yung nileash nila yung Dark Slayer para sa MaxBox Gaming. Unfortunately, things just never turned back for MaxBox. Once they found that opening onto Bren Esports, he just never looked back.
But he did see the efforts done by
Yeah.
MBX, definitely there. But congratulations to MaxBox Gaming, your victorious team, winning this best of 5 series for the Arena of Valor Cup Season 3. Looks like they will be moving on to the finals. Well played.
Yeah, and I guess now we have to look forward to who gets to face them during that next best of 5. It will be Resurgence.Clutch Guild against EurasiaSuperfly Esports. So that is one more exciting best of 5. Maybe that one goes to full 5 games. Who knows?
Who knows, guys? But what we do know is that we will be going into a short break. So, thank you guys so much for watching our stream, supporting the Garena Arena Valor Cup Season 3. We have been the Shoutcasters. My name is Vulcan. With me is Gisto. I want to see you guys after the short break for the continuation of match number 2.
Is going to give.
Oh no, looks like they're going to try to go for it. Bren Esports going for the dive onto MaxBox Gaming, really wanting to close up, but Gambit will get the kill onto Arcadia. So far, so good for MaxBox Gaming. 1 member down for the count. Make that 2 actually. Anti-Hero did go down earlier. This could be the opportunity for MaxBox Gaming. Surviving right here, still 3 members. Beast Boy is up and kicking on this Violet. Will be trying to take down Kuroki. That's going to be the knockup coming in. Ash will try to follow up, though, going to run straight in onto that kill ground. Beast Boy trying to maintain health under turret. That's going to be the roar going on, but that's going to be the wave pushing in. Yet around it is enough, though. Ash actually managing to take down that moment. MaxBox Gaming, they're running for the hills right now. They were way too clumped up in that team fight. Alpha Cat looks like will be the sacrifice that will allow the rest of MaxBox Gaming to make the escape. 3 members. Like Alpha Cat actually still living, but Kuroki gonna cancel off his escape route right here. And looks like wasn't estimating that the members of MaxBox Gaming were still there. Will get taken down himself. So I think that's a fight that calls for it. It's like Brenny's able to account for the rest of MBX in that front lane. Arcadia and Esh, they tried to go on to Gambit, but still numbers are looking pretty darn good for MBX. That Arcadia going down.
And they were kind of scattered up a bit, trying to go who? No, you go here. No, you go here. So they were quite of a mess.
Not that people looks like onto the mid lane. Immediately members of Max down. This is gonna be bad news for MaxBox Gaming. Not having a good start at this point. Let's get the game. But just stunning down the Batman. They're gonna go for the side. Let's see the Batman. Can't go for the pick as the anti-hero misses his stun. And that's gonna be back and going over the flash. And it's gonna be a wipe out in the red side. It's going to be MaxBox Gaming coming on top. Kuroki forced to flicker away. The team can't do it. And he's gonna be the speed forward, trying to chuck them down. He goes back under tower. Trying to buy some time, but great stun coming from the Alistair, forcing it to ultimate. Here comes the Batman. Can he do something there? The Airy will be backing away with a few dashes there. Arcadia trying to flash away. He does flicker away from the wall, but in the end, it's going to be Alpaca taking him down. Bren Esports biding some time. The flash going in, backs away, very low. Oh, that's sad. That might be it. Finishes him off. Valheim takes down the Airy. Right now, with only 2 members of Bren Esports left. I think for MaxBox Gaming, they will wrap up this game number 3. Last stand for Bren Esports. Can they buy time? No. Last stand. No. Denied of the ace. And that's going to be game set. Fix with the mid going in for the front. Can he go for the pull? Anti-hero going away. It's going to be Rubik's with the $1 million pull, but in the end, it's going to be Kuroki just buying some time. He's the one. Speed force, they back up. The Wonder Woman takes him down, but check out MBX. They're getting slaughtered by Leather, by the Liliana piece. But the third Gambit is there. It's going to be a wipeout with only the Valheim standing. Taking away the best of 5 series. We can see Arcadia 6 seconds
over.
left. The core. MaxBox Gaming takes it away with a
The Queen of Elf, Tel-Anas, has slumbered for a millennium. Her deep breath that had happened thousands of years ago. Under her leadership, Tel-Anas succeeded in defeating the King of Darkness and his dark army. However, she paid a heavy price and was crippled by the power of darkness. She was forced into isolation and went into slumber to purify herself. Now, Tel-Anas is strong enough to defeat the darkness, and the Queen of Elf rises once again.
Welcome to the arena of
And welcome back mga challenger dito sa Garena AOV Valor Cup Season 3 PH National Semifinals. Match 2 naman tayo ngayon between Resurgence.Clutch Guild.Nimo TV. Para hindi tayo mahirapan, CG for short na lang.
CG, yeah.
Versus EurasiaSuperfly
Yeah.
Esports. So, kanina nga, Superfly. Yeah. So, kanina nga nakita natin yung MaxBox Gaming. Gonna be our first finalist. They'll proceed to the big event on September 23 ngayong Sunday sa Ayala Malls Feliz sa Marikina City para sa ating National Finals. Pero sino kaya sa dalawang to sa ating match 2 ang magiging kalaban nila?
Yeah, you know, I'm really excited to see this matchup. Well, we've seen CG around a lot, you know. They became representatives before, but EurasiaSuperfly is new blood, and you don't know what they might bring. You know, earlier on we were talking about, oh, by the way, Arctic,
Yes.
Marco,
Yes.
and we're going to be your casters for this upcoming game. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what EurasiaSuperfly can bring to the table. You know, last time we had the quarterfinals, we actually were talking about how Marja was banned, and Marja is actually now unbanned from this specific event. So we might see her. Actually, Bren brought her in the previous match, right? It didn't really work out for them that time, but maybe EurasiaSuperfly found some secret tech, found some secret strat that will make her work and surprise CG. But who knows? CG is currently the king that you have to overthrow. So it's going to be an underdog story for EurasiaSuperfly, but everyone loves an underdog, aren't they?
Yeah,
How about you?
I agree. I'd have to agree. I mean, I've been casting for a number of, I wouldn't say years, let's say a good number of months now. Because like years, like to say a number of years, that's like 5, 6, but I haven't reached that. So let's say a lot of months.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of months.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of underdogs actually like go beyond expectation.
Beyond plus ultra.
Yeah, plus ultra all their way to the finals into actually winning the entire thing. So, EurasiaSuperfly Esports, you don't want to discount them just yet. It's just that kung titingnan natin yung history, syempre, ng kalaban nila being Clutch Guild. I mean,
Clutch Guild has the pedigree, man.
Exactly.
Sila yung prized purebred dog. You know, you're expecting them to win, but don't ever count never underestimate the underdog. That's how you literally lose to the underdog every time.
That's true.
Yeah. So we'll see whether or not these two teams are going to be able to do some really cool stuff for us tonight. I'm really excited watching, you know, the best of the best play AOV because we get to see some of the highest level plays and some of the minute differences in strategy and execution that can make a huge difference in the outcome of a game that you don't see in the lower levels of play. So it's very exciting. I hope all of you are going to stick around and see how Clutch Guild can execute well or how EurasiaSuperfly can surprise us all.
Yeah, and you have to take into account that we're not just looking at Clutch Guild, winners of the
previous Valor Cup.
Yeah, previous Valor Cup. This is Clutch Guild, like you mentioned, with a pedigree to an extent because they have international experience now. They went through boot camp, they went to the actual AWC. So I think that in itself, like I've seen a number of Philippine teams across different games that upon garnering that international experience, their play style suddenly becomes all the more refined to an extent. And I think we could say the same for Clutch Guild. And these guys have been pretty good as is.
Yeah.
What more with that experience? But of course, EurasiaSuperfly Esports, I've been hearing them every now and then, so I really like to see what they'd have against, maybe going for a potential upset against Clutch Guild, maybe upsetting expectation.
Us all. Upsetting us. Well, I mean, not in a bad way, right?
Yeah,
We're not going to be like, they won. But yeah, we expect that to see that they're going to have to do something very different and very shocking in order to take this from CG. Will ban what they're afraid of, what they don't want to see.
This is going to be interesting. So Chognar, classic ban.
Get
right
that
off the
elephant
bat.
out of here.
Yep.
I don't like him.
We don't want the elephant in the room anytime soon.
Yeah, let's not address the elephant in the room.
Yep,
So let's see what CG bans in response. Okay, so they're taking away all of these very, very good AoE support kind of heroes. Chognar with his ability to reduce CC for his team. Senil with the ability to be omnipresent on the map. So we're gonna see that the teams might be a little less support focused this round. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna see a Malak ban. So Heaven and Hell have both been banned. Arctic, what do you think?
I mean, so far, it's just pretty much up to standard, pretty much up to expectation. You mentioned double supports being back out. I think it's a little bit more interesting kasi kung titingnan natin yung past seasons, like, the only usual supports that we see, Sinio, Chognar, Alice. But since we have a little bit more variety this time around through Teamy, through Pain, it's a little bit more of a different story here. Even with these particular heroes being banned out, you still have a lot more variety to work with.
Yeah, we have space. Aram got banned as well, so she's been banned a lot this set of matches. Actually, in this entire event, I think she's been banned at least twice at this point. Yeah, it's very big. Aram's a devil. Valheim Vine. Valheim. It's Valheim. It's not Valheim Vine. That's what I meant. Yep. So it seems that we've basically banned 2 supports, 2 warriors, and then 2 marksmen. So it seems like they're mirroring each other's bans. With EurasiaSuperfly, with the first pick, they have the advantage. They're going to take the support for Team E. Great ability to support this team with stuns and the ability to revive a key member should they go down.
Meanwhile, looking at the side of CG right here, we see a lock-in onto that Omen along with the Arduin. So 2 pretty solid picks. Arduin has been picking up since around early season 2 of our Valor Cup. Has been a favorite ever since by Malaysia and Singapore, but has risen to prominence in general.
Yeah. Arduin provides some amount of CC for his entire team. He has 2 almost team-wide CC abilities, and he's relatively tanky. So he can be quite disruptive for teams that focus and need a specific person to live in order to function. So I think this Arduin Omen combo is really there to counter this Slim's backliner. Arduin and Omen are there to CC the entire team, and then Omen comes in and destroys whoever the carry is, whether that be the Illumia or the Slims. If they decide to pick Illumia for a EurasiaSuperfly.
And a lot more options with the Murad locked in as well. So not just the Omen, but is that going to be a lock-in on Illumia? Interesting pick right there. The Flash, understandable, but we haven't seen as much Illumia in general throughout regions.
It's going to be a very interesting pick, actually. This is a very, very interesting pick. Illumia has decent CC for team-wide CC. She also has an ultimate that hits everyone on the map. So if there are stragglers, she can get them and they're going to die. But on the other hand, CG's not going to fall back down. They have 2 really good assassin heroes in Murad, as well as my favorite Raz. Raz is my favorite hero. He's there. I'm glad he's here. This is going to be a very interesting lineup. CG seems to have a very assassin-focused team with no marksmen, so they're going to need to stay in melee and catch EurasiaSuperfly off guard. EurasiaSuperfly, on the other hand, has a more standard composition that involves having a warrior frontline with a backline that has a mage as well as a marksman. So we'll see how this works out. CG, again, known for their aggressive playstyle relatively. And let's see whether or not that will pay off by having 4 assassins essentially on their team. We'll see how that works out. What do you think? What are your predictions for this game, Arctic?
I don't know, man, because I'd have to agree with you. Looking at the composition that EurasiaSuperfly Esports, Superfly Esports, you always have to add that extra flavor.
Yeah,
whenever you say
flavor
the
for the Superfly.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd have to agree with you. There's a lot more contingency to what they've managed to draft. But then again, I think even with that contingency, there's just so many options for CG to take down key carries from their side, even with all that protection, all that hold whenever somebody does dive in from Clutch Guild. And knowing Clutch Guild, they play the game very systematic. Knowing at what point they peak with whatever composition that they have, and given the composition that they do have for this particular game, I'm definitely expecting quite a lot, even within these first minutes. But let's go ahead and see as we head into Game 1 for Match 2 of the day. Once again, it is EurasiaSuperfly Esports versus Resurgence.Clutch Guild.Nimo TV, aka we'll be referring to them as CG in this game. Let's head on to the entire battlefield for all the action.
So I think the key to success for Resurgence.Clutch Guild here is that their tanks have to deliver.
Yes.
If their tanks do not deliver, it's going to be a horrible time. The enemy team has decent AoE and decent CC. So if Omen, Raz, and Murad all get caught out and stunned, it's game over for CG. So whether or not they execute will be the deciding factor of this game.
That's an interesting point to bring up, because on the flip side, if ever EurasiaSuperfly Esports does manage to build up, ang medyo nakakatakot dito is CG, rather.
Yeah.
CG, even with all that tankiness, they're just gonna shred through all of that. And that's something that, of course, will happen if ever EurasiaSuperfly does manage to get that early build-up. But speaking of build-up, through these opportunities right here, but Black easily making a rotation here. That Milane gonna get that pull in on to Jum. Jum, though, gonna continue to chase out right here. Not at all phased by the initiation coming in from CG, but both sides gonna call it quit for now. Looks like LYL gonna be a little bit low there. We'll just have to back away for now.
Yeah, so this is the key to a good Raz player is that you know when to back off, right? You're really, really squishy, and you're a melee hero. So you need to know when to dart out of combat and not overextend. You know, the thing about EurasiaSuperfly's game plan here, I feel, is that they have a technically better late game because they have a scaling marksman, right? And they have a decent front line in terms of the Crash and the Teamy. So all EurasiaSuperfly has to do is to play safe and not lose the early game, because that's where CG wants to thrive. They want to stuff the early game of EurasiaSuperfly by having all of these assassins kill them.
Especially when you have a Murad. But meanwhile, looks like CG finding himself in a tricky situation once again, but they actually managed to reverse and take down the Flash. First up, looks like that Teamy might not be long of this world as well. Take note, it's only a level 2 support right there. Down he goes. That will be the Mina that'll take the kill. 2-0 right now for CG. Can they take more though? Looks like they're still raring to go get that pull in onto the Crash, but Crash on the flip side will be able to take down that Omen. Can they go for more? Looks like EurasiaSuperfly not going to go down with taking more numbers, but looks like they'll just have to content themselves with that 1 kill for now. 2-1 total, but still CG looking pretty good at the end of the day.
Remember that 611 was the one who got a lot of those kills, or at least one of them, and it's on a Murad, so you can't have a scaling Murad this early on. Well, oh, it seems that 611 may have overextended and went into the enemy jungle at the wrong time and used his ultimate at the wrong time, therefore resulting in a death. That's okay. We'll see whether or not Clutch Guild can recover. Hopefully their plan still works. Again, you saw it earlier. They were able to execute on that early game pressure and take some enemies. However, the problem is they might have overextended and resulted in that early advantage dissipating a little bit.
Now, sayang yun actually, with 611 going down there, it would have been perfection if he got that build up without going down. Just go straight back to farming out.
Yeah.
Continue to build up on that Murad, because of course with the Murad fed early on, of course that's going to be a massive problem for EurasiaSuperfly. But if held in check, transitioning to the later parts where Murad isn't as efficient, once the members of EurasiaSuperfly start building up on items, then that's going to be an all the more trickier situation for CG. But so far with what we have laid out, gold is looking pretty even for both sides. So isn't really anyone's game just yet, but looks like EurasiaSuperfly going to try to resolve just that by going for the first Abyssal Dragon of the game.
Yeah, this is really good, right? Because they have 4 members here and only 3 members for CG. So CG's gonna absolutely fall because one of them has died, and they have also taken the Abyssal Dragon. Excellent play in EurasiaSuperfly's part. I think that entire play was facilitated by their Kresh, because Kresh pushed top so well that 2 members of CG had to respond.
Yautza, meanwhile, look at that damage onto that Teamy. Sayang nga lang, di nakuha ni 611 yung kill, but does force a back away for now from EurasiaSuperfly. That will halt a little bit of the proactivity across the map for now, but still dead even from what we're seeing here within the first few minutes. Definitely a little bit more better for EurasiaSuperfly, because the fact if they're up this earlier on, then that just makes for easy voyage to the later parts of the game.
Exactly. In fact, they're already up. Like, if they were just a parity, I think Superfly would be winning. Oh, by the way, team fight. You never want to engage on a fully fed Murad like that. Not a good series of plays. This is what I was talking about. The tanks were able to execute, soak the damage, and CC the enemy team. Then the assassins came in and wrecked shop. Now Murad is like 2-3 levels above the lowest leveled member of EurasiaSuperfly, and oh my gosh. I can't even finish an analysis without them killing someone. This is CG's hyper-aggressive, fast gameplay in hand, especially with 611's Murad. We've seen how effective this can be.
Ang ganda ng decisiveness and just the general decision making coming in from CG right here, going for play after play after play, knowing very well that they could go for the full collapse onto EurasiaSuperfly. That's what we've been looking for within the earlier minutes. Sure, it didn't really happen within the first 1 to 3, but with this collapse right here, easily puts them back on the map. Look at that easy shift. Earlier, EurasiaSuperfly was leading by a few hundreds. Tignan mo ngayon ng CG. By a few thousands, that's a great recovery.
I mean, they wiped the entire enemy team. I mean, it didn't say like ace or whatever, but they wiped the entire enemy team. It's absolutely insane. This is how effective Murad can be in the early game. Now let's see whether or not EurasiaSuperfly will buckle under the pressure.
Oh, that's going to be a great hold. Unfortunately, the rest of CG is in the vicinity for the response. That's going to be Jom going straight in, but still our CG holding the fort quite well right there. That will be the flash taking down Nemo, though. That's going to be a bit of a cripple onto the side of CG. They're just forced to back away, losing out on 2 members right there. Pero mukhang di pa tapos dyan. The flash tries to go in, takes quite a bit of damage, but that's going to be the straight in from 611. Take note that Murad's still doing pretty darn good, but small victory for EurasiaSuperfly right there.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Murad is the important part here. It doesn't matter if everybody else dies at this point. So long as 611 is able to execute well and just execute the enemy team, I think CG will do just fine. However, it's all up to Black and XYX to defend him.
Oh, look at all that tankiness coming in from that Crescendo. Forced to back away, though, with XYX coming in from the backline. That's a great hold coming in from the Illumia. Here comes Dawn, gonna try to wreak some havoc into the ranks of CG. Down that Arduin goes. Can they go for more? Looks like Ayala trying to do what he can. Forced to back away for now, though, with the death of 2 members from CG. That was a nice snipe onto that Raz right there. And looks like kills are happening left and right for EurasiaSuperfly, trying to go for... Can they go for him, though? Looks like that won't be the case, though. They'll just back away to safety. Gets the pull in onto Jom. Might want to overextend there, my friend. That's going to be the dive right there. But still, with a cleanup coming in from 611, rather. Gets a nice cleanup.
You know, 611 stalked his prey like a hunter, saw the opportunity, and took 2 kills for nothing. Well, you know, his teammate died, but who cares? Yeah, sorry, but when you're a Murad this fed, this early, well, quote-unquote early, it is an 8-minute game of AOV, you can afford to just let your teammates die to get more kills. But the problem is that getting kills isn't as good as taking pushes. So let's see whether or not CG can use this advantage to push and probably end the game earlier.
Yes, meanwhile, looks like EurasiaSuperfly going to go for the initiate right there. Can't look for a target, though. Here comes XY coming in from the backside. Looks like they're going to pincer in. Zell right there. Zell trying to make the escape. Lumia will try to get the hold for his escape, but no, that won't be happening. That's going to be a member down from the side of EurasiaSuperfly. That's going to be another one in the form of Buck right there. 2 members make that 3 members down for the count from EurasiaSuperfly. Not a single casualty from CG. CG coming up on top.
CG now has all the space in the world to be able to take objectives. Look, Murad and Raz are just taking Dragon right now, completely uncontested. It's done. I didn't even finish my sentence, and they're already done with it. Now they're probably gonna take control of the map, push even further so that they have more space to safely take the Darkslayer when they feel they're strong enough. And this is the power of that early game pressure. By forcing the enemy team to fall back and be scared of Murad wiping them entirely, Murad now has created space for his team, allowing them to possibly do some very cool things when it comes to objectives.
Meanwhile, looks like we have a little bit of a fight right here. Numbers are looking pretty darn good for CG. That'll be the Omen getting yet another kill from the side. CG is not slowing down. Looks like LYL gonna look for a kill himself as well. Gonna go in onto Buck. Buck managing to find the safety of his turret. Will LYL go for it, though? Gets the skill shot. Looks like not gonna risk anything, though. And that Illumia will manage to escape. But at what cost? A turret is going down in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, at what cost? Everything. You know, Murad is what? 4 levels above everybody else at this point on the enemy team. So it doesn't really matter at this point. It might really take a lot for EurasiaSuperfly to come back. Murad is here. He's absolutely dominating the enemy team with no fear. Dives into the tower, just takes someone. See, this is all it. It's protect the Murad time, and it's really great. They might take this high ground tower at top so that it can get perma push. That would be quite useful for CG. Again, creating more of that space. Oh, and Dragon's up right now, and EurasiaSuperfly is forced to defend. So with them receding further and further into their base, the entire map is basically Clutch Guild territory at this point, and it is time for them to just take the objectives and further push their advantage.
I would give my kudos to EurasiaSuperfly Esports for at least trying to keep the gold at a manageable rate. It's just that, given that, like you mentioned, the map control is just fully on CG at this point with all the objectives that EurasiaSuperfly Esports has lost. So it's kind of worrisome what reach that they have on the battlefield at this point. Look at this. Black trying to zone out Jom from spawning out this Darkslayer. Darkslayer was successfully taken. CG immediately turns onto this teammate, tries to make the escape, but doesn't stand a fighting chance, gets easily decimated, and that's gonna be the Arduin getting the kill.
Yeah, you can't take 3 members by yourself, even if you are tanky like team.
Oh man, looks like there's gonna be all the more. Look at all that damage! Dawn goes down, and a flash no pun intended. Zell, meanwhile, gonna back away. Still quite the tanky crash, but at this point, EurasiaSuperfly needs to hold the fort. Looks like he's gonna fight it off. Not gonna go down. Looks like that will be the Omen needing to back away. Still, CG gonna take even more fights. That's gonna be taken out onto the crash. Can they go for more? Illumia looking very low. That's gonna be Arduin going straight and tanking a lot of that turret damage. Unfortunately, CG not able to follow up, but they do manage to take down a high ground in that mid lane. Take no top is down as well. Teamy gonna try to go for the defense right here. That's gonna be a clean snipe coming in from the Myriad. That's gonna be game. Game 1 gonna go to Resurgence.Clutch Guild.Nimo TV. Well played.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful gameplay from 611 there. I mean, I would love to say that this team really helped because, again, Murad can't work without space, right? If Murad gets in and he gets stunned, he's over. So by his teammates taking those CCs, by his teammates creating space and giving him opportunity to weave in and out of combat, 611 was able to exert pressure on the enemy team, get those early kills, create map control, give objectives to his team, and ultimately win them the game.
611 was an absolute beast on this Myriad, and like I've been trying to point out earlier during the game, what I loved about Clutch Guild is andun yung decisiveness nila. I think that's just very classic AOV wherein the pace was just continuous. Like you mentioned, wala ka ng oras na mag-analyze during the game.
I might as well leave the casting couch because at this point, like, all we need is play-by-plays because that's all CG is doing. Play after play after play after play. When I think they might go back and do objectives and instead farm and maybe cool down, they just make more plays.
Exactly.
And at that point, if you're a team who doesn't understand the pressure, who can't keep up with that breakneck speed, CG will crush you under the weight of their momentum. And I think this is very important and points back to what we were talking about earlier with CG having that international experience. In the international world of AOV is even faster than we usually think it is. Early game team fights, early game wipes, games that end in 7 minutes. It's insane. So CG must have experienced that when they were in the boot camp and were hardened by it and steeled by it, and they were able to adapt and move this playstyle over into the PH. So we will see whether or not EurasiaSuperfly can figure out a way to stop the momentum from CG.
Definitely. I think there are certain ways. It's just that, like I mentioned, with the comp that they had, there's definitely contingency. It's just that that contingency doesn't matter if ever you're not able to react fast enough. And given the speed that CG was going at during that game, I couldn't blame them. It's super duper hard. Snipes, assassinations, back and forth. And with that Mira just kind of spearheading ahead, that was kind of the worry right there. Doesn't matter how much you try to protect those carries. If you can't deal with the damage that's coming off from CG, it's just pretty moot.
It's moot. At the end of the day, I think EurasiaSuperfly's only recourse is to find characters who have instant on-demand stuns. A lot of their stuns in that game came from characters like Illumia and Teamy, both of which have delayed stuns. And if you can't react predictively, because 611's Murad was just flanking from nowhere like the Predator, it's gonna be very hard to stun them because you usually have to wait 1 or 2 seconds, which is more than enough time for Murad to kill you, right? So it's very important that you have on-demand stuns to deal with that Murad if 611's going to continue using it in that way. So I think they might have to fix their comp a bit, find a few more on-demand stuns that are instant cast, hopefully to mitigate that Murad offensive. But the big problem here is, once Murad goes down, there's still an Omen. There's still a Raz. And if both of those characters can still execute well, it's pretty moot. This is a playstyle that's only viable if you're this good like CG is. But that's not to discount EurasiaSuperfly. You know, they can be very creative, and let's see whether or not they'll bring in some new spicy cooking for us in this Hero Select.
Let's go ahead and check. Looks like I'm not going to be making any appearances within this match yet, but it kind of makes me wonder what switch up EurasiaSuperfly Esports can go for, because given CG's super fast pace with what they've shown during game 1, I mean, at this point in time, I don't really think they need to show any further cards. That composition as is, they could just continue to milk off of against Superfly.
It's like a question and answer, right? CG's question is, can you beat this comp? And if EurasiaSuperfly can't find an answer, then CG wins. They don't have to change the strategy. They have the momentum, and I think they might just take that to their advantage. So CG has banned Teamy, has banned Arum. They dislike these tanks, these tanky heroes very, very much. And it seems that we have a similar set of bans here, you know? Ban the Elephant, ban the Violet, ban the Teamy, and ban Arum. I will not be surprised to see, like, you know, a Malak and a Senyo ban at this point.
Blue team's turn to ban.
So, with that said, though, Chognar as well has been a bit of a constant regardless. Has stood the test of time these past few seasons, hasn't he?
There's the Valheim that I was predicting. You know, I can read minds. That's the thing, Arctic. I can read minds.
With this last ban, though, I'm wondering, could it be a Sinyal? Could it be a Malak? Could it be an Omen?
Oh,
there's still a lot of options here.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. Maybe, there's the Senyo. So I think maybe the team comps now have Malak open to them. And let's see whether or not one of the teams will pick him. Oh, there you go. CG has decided to take Malak, preferably probably replacing Mina or one of the other tanks like Arduin. Yeah, possibly replacing them. Again, Omen has less CC compared to those two, but he has way more map presence because of his ultimate.
Looking at okay, so it looks like they will be sticking with the Crash, but with a Max this time around. Switch up.
Okay, it's a switch up. Yeah, they're trolling us. I think they do that just to troll us casters sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so this is a Pena pick. It seems that CG might not be going for their assassin-heavy build. I see where this is going. You have a Malak, right? With that ultimate, crash down and man drop into an entire enemy team. You have Pena, who has an ultimate that lets her stun an entire enemy team. And you have, never mind, they switched. Okay. Yeah.
But still, Slims, nonetheless.
Again, both of these two heroes, Malak and Pena, can support Slims very well by taking the hits and stunning the entire enemy team as Slims auto attacks and picks for stuns.
Yeah, that's a lot of okay with the Tara and the Flash being hovered over though. I was about to say that with what they've drafted so far, it gives a lot of room for the carry to just kind of weave about. But speaking of weave about, a quick switch up. Gonna go for the Jinna instead.
There you go. So this is what I was expecting, right? That Jinna plus those two CC ultimates means that they can wipe an entire enemy team. On the other hand, EurasiaSuperfly might be taking a book from CG by pulling up 2 warriors and then 3 assassins. It's going to be a very interesting thing because EurasiaSuperfly essentially is trying to beat CG at their own game. And CG is essentially trying to beat EurasiaSuperfly at their own game because CG now has the quote-unquote death ball team comp, wherein they have to wait a little bit until Jinna gets his items, or at least level 4, so that they can all crash their ultimates and win team fights. On the other hand, EurasiaSuperfly might need to wait until level 4 and then use all of their assassin-type abilities as well as Kali's spells to zone and possibly whittle down the enemy team using Kali, then have Irie and Kriknak come in and finish off the enemy team. So this is going to be hyper-aggressive versus a Death Ball team comp, but flipped. Now with CG running that Death Ball team comp and EurasiaSuperfly trying to be aggressive.
Yeah, I kind of like that pick onto the Kali towards the end. I mean, given what Clutch Guild has, there's just a lot of ways. Like I mentioned, have that solid set, sustenance through the Pena, not to mention carries to Slims particularly, because Jin is going to be going straight in. So a lot of these 4 elements with that Slims kind of has that extra contingency to hit from the back line. But flip side also goes for EurasiaSuperfly, where they have that Kali doesn't need to be in the brute of the fight, just needs to hit from the back line, make sure land that skill shot, try to get as much damage as possible from whatever members of Clutch Guild are in that front line, and then hopefully that does work for him. But I don't know, man. It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, I'm not sure who might win this one. Again, I said EurasiaSuperfly has to come up with something crazy or something innovative in order to get a chance at this game. And what's that crazy thing? They decided to pick CG's composition from last game. Essentially, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but the strategy behind it is quite similar. It seems that EurasiaSuperfly has requested the pause. So we'll be waiting here and analyzing. I think it's going to be a very interesting set of team fights. I think CG has a very interesting team comp, and maybe what their strategy is they can get to level 4 faster and then use the death ball strategy immediately after that to then further their advantage. Again, it's very hard for me to imagine CG not playing aggressively.
True.
So maybe this composition just looks death ball late gamey, despite it actually being aggressive, simply because CG is piloting it. The skill of CG does go beyond that way. But EurasiaSuperfly again has a chance to prove themselves, and I think EurasiaSuperfly is up for a comeback. So I think maybe this time, just this once, I might go for EurasiaSuperfly in this game.
I'd have to agree with you. I mean, with what EurasiaSuperfly has, I've talked about what I like through the calling. What I also like is that, like I've mentioned, one thing that you really want to look out for on the composition of CG is that Slims, probably secondary, that Jin and then the rest are kind of supplementary to those two carries. But with that, I like how not only is Kali kind of a solution, that backliner that could just throw skills, at the same time, if ever you do want to try to reach out to that Slims, you also have that Cricknock to an extent. If Irie has a good laning phase, it gets that good start, then that could be another option as well. There's a lot of ways that could kind of get to those key carries right away before injuring the rest of the brute of the clash that Clutch Guild brings to the table.
Yeah, so I think the thing about this is that EurasiaSuperfly has to weave in and out of combat. I don't think they should really overcommit to any fight. For one, because it's CG, and CG is really good at fights. But number two, because CG's composition is actually really good at fights, with multiple AoE stuns and multiple AoE abilities that can wipe entire enemy teams, especially if they're not built tanky. So EurasiaSuperfly has to weave in, take some picks, and then fight when they have the numbers advantage. We'll see whether or not they're able to execute on that, and we'll see whether or not CG's map awareness is very good. Again, AoV games are often decided by who decides to go where at what time. Because sometimes one of your members simply walking into the top lane to side push might result in you losing because you end up having to 4v5 the enemy team. Something as small as just wanting to go top to side push or wanting to go to a camp to farm is basically like a throw at this point, right? Especially in levels of competitive play as high as this. So I think both teams have to be very careful with their positioning and their coordination, or else they might just lose this game.
Yeah, that's a little bit more of a tricky scenario for both sides, but looks like all is good now between CG and EurasiaSuperfly. So looks like we're going to head into Game 2 for Match 2, ladies and gents, to determine who will ultimately be facing MaxBox Gaming at the live finals this coming Sunday at Ayala Malls Feliz. Let's head on to the action right here. But speaking of which, look at Zell takes quite a bit of damage from 3 members of Clutch Guild. They're still chasing. Look at that pressure. Not going to allow Cost safe voyage onto that Sage Golem. Clutch Guild just ready to bring the disruption right there. And looks like going to be passing it on to 611 there.
Yeah, 611's a Slims, now has the blue buff, and okay. I thought Koss was gonna like throw and kill himself there. Again, there isn't a lot of CC on Clutch Guild's side right now. Mostly because they don't have their ultimates yet. So we'll have to see whether or not this pays off.
Oh.
And that, my friend, is what I was talking about. EurasiaSuperfly is turning Clutch Guild's strategy against them. They're going for those early picks, early kills, and trying to use that early advantage. Now we'll see whether or not Clutch Guild can take their own medicine.
Yeah, looks like, okay, that's going to be the takedown before he goes down himself. Looks like that's a good done deal. EurasiaSuperfly, I like the responsiveness so far. I think what happened there was that since EurasiaSuperfly was fully aware of what Clutch Guild was doing within the first few seconds, gave them just enough time to respond because of how CG was kind of sticking around within visible vicinity of the opposing team.
Yeah, so maybe at this point, we don't know whether or not CG can press for the advantage. Again, CG has come back from early deficits like this in full force, but maybe not if XYX falls to a 3-man gang. It's absolutely disgusting, and whether or not Black will see this is going to be quite troublesome. There you go. Will EurasiaSuperfly go for the dragon? What do you think, Arte?
Probably not at this point. Probably just triggering Abyssal Dragon to get a bit of damage onto the otherwise pursuing members of Clutch Guild. But with that said, I like what's going on here so far for EurasiaSuperfly. Notice CG did try to be proactive into the first few seconds, but that pretty much kind of went to a flip, which goes in favor of EurasiaSuperfly because of how they were able to manage to respond just like that. So this time around, though, CG looks like Kali gonna throw out that ultimate, getting some pretty good damage onto Black right there. Meanwhile, LYL just gonna try to back away. Looks like they'll have to surrender Abyssal Dragon to EurasiaSuperfly right there.
See, this is very interesting in my opinion because 611 might be higher level than most of his team, and he actually has his ultimate right now. But in that situation, the person who needed to have the ultimate was LYL, who needed to have that AoE Nirvana in order to pressure EurasiaSuperfly out of the Dragon Pit. However, 611 had his ultimate, and all it does is give him more attack damage.
Exactly, and I love how Dawn was kind of untouched during that team fight. Just threw out an ultimate, got a lot of great damage onto who you need to whittle down within the earlier parts of that team fight. And as a result, Clutch Guild, they need to restrain themselves a lot from what we've been seeing earlier. So I'm kind of wondering at this point, Clutch Guild, they probably need to take it a bit more easier, probably avoid some of these unless they could pick up themselves from EurasiaSuperfly.
Yeah, I highly doubt though, because that's not what their composition's built for right now. And this is exactly what I was saying, right? They're identifying key members, and oh, never mind, it's a team fight.
Full-on team fight right there. Knockup coming in from Zell, but looks like it will be 2 members down from the count from EurasiaSuperfly so far. CG still looking pretty healthy. Zell gonna try to back away. All 4 members already down. Looks like trying to sneak his way out. Will get the pull in. Will CG pursue? No, will content themselves in what ends as a 1-for-4 in favor of Resurgence.Clutch Guild.Nimo TV.
Wait a minute, wasn't Clutch Guild just losing?
Well,
it seems that they're winning now.
Yep.
And like I told you earlier in this game, what was I saying? Number 1, Clutch Guild has come back from worse deficits before. Number 2, Clutch Guild's entire game plan focuses on that team fight strategy. You see, the moment EurasiaSuperfly decided, oh yeah, let's have a team fight, they got crushed.
Yep.
Right? Therefore, again, EurasiaSuperfly has to pick their fights. Pick one member of the team off and then run away. Don't engage in a fight, especially when the enemy team has their ultimates up, because that's when they're strongest. So whether or not EurasiaSuperfly is able to capitalize on this space that they've created actually is very good. This is very good map awareness on EurasiaSuperfly's part. Let's see whether or not Black can steal it. Never mind. Great dragon take from EurasiaSuperfly. Wonderful map awareness. And it's just all about understanding whether or not you can take those small advantages.
Nice pickup right there. And with that said, even with that team fight leading in favor, but okay, looks like that's gonna be a little bit of a 3v1 scuffle right there. See, jeez. XCD tries to make the escape, but unfortunately just not enough. We'll just have to go down numbers. It's a pretty easy telltale sign, no-brainer right there.
It's a 3v1, man. What are you gonna do?
Ah, man. But meanwhile, looks like CG not gonna allow their fallen comrade to just go down without getting vengeance here towards bot side right here. That is going to be cost going down from the side of EurasiaSuperfly. So a little bit of a ping pong that we're seeing here so far. And I like how it's kind of even out from what build we're seeing. And a turret going to be taken down by CG, not to mention.
While Irie takes a turret up top. So I think it's kind of even, right? But the thing about this is that the important thing here is that EurasiaSuperfly's team comp focused on momentum. And they don't have it right now.
Yes, and look at that Dawn throwing out the ultimate right there. Not able to get any substantial damage, though. Members of CG in the front line able to tank for their more substantial members. Taking out LYL is pretty low, though. That's going to be the hold on to Dawn. Dawn forced to flicker his way out of there. Malak going to get the initiate onto the members of EurasiaSuperfly. Looks like not able to complement enough damage. Look at these members from CG a little bit on the lower end of the spectrum. Here comes the Irie. Ooh, LYL a little bit far from comfort. Looks like XYX won't be able to do much as well. Here comes the rest of CG though. Looks like they're ready to take yet another fight. Still quite a bit of damage coming, trading in back and forth. Look at those low health bars coming in from CG. They're just forced to back away. EurasiaSuperfly coming up on top right here. Yet another decimation. Looks like 611 will manage to live to tell the tale, but a little bit of an overstay from CG overall.
Definitely an overstay, and definitely some poor coordination on their part, right? Because their Taara was still up top, right? And XDD should have been in that team fight. Had he been there, maybe, just maybe the result would have been different. But it was a 4v5 essentially, and CG paid for it.
And as we're seeing here, still equal coming in from both sides right here. Objectives being traded out back and forth between CG and EurasiaSuperfly. But I think with that said, we ultimately have to go back to who this eventually benefits in terms of the scaling of these two compositions.
Yeah, so ultimately, it seems that, again, with the marksman on their team, CG, if they're at parity, is at an advantage right now.
Yes, looks like LYL. Look at that gutsy going straight in onto the members of EurasiaSuperfly, forced to disperse. CG, though, not really clear on who they're going to go for. Looks like they might actually go for Zell, a little bit far from the comfort of this turret. 611 just hitting on him like a madman, throwing those attacks back and forth. Looks like Sage Golem will be for the taking as well. CG, can they get a push in though? Wave's a little bit far off. Won't be able to take that second turret towards bot, but here in the mid lane, bit of a different story, but they're going to turn to Dawn first. Look at all that damage that Kali's taking. Might be dishing out a lot of damage, but still very squishy. Members of ESF though, looks like they need to disperse, need to probably back away. Jump, going to force his ultimate away, but still with all 5 members collapsing onto him, it's a good done deal. Tankiness doesn't matter. That's going to be the Tara getting the kill, but can they go for a finish here though? High ground will be CG's next priority. Looks like, are they gonna? No, they're gonna take it a little bit more systematic. We'll just back away, but still, mission accomplished, CG.
Again, so ESF's team comp focused on early game pressure as well as taking advantage of early momentum, which they did really well at the start. But then CG bounced back and instilled the fear inside ESF. And now ESF's backing off every team fight, not even looking for picks at this point. So now, again, CG with control of the entire map and all the objectives. We'll see whether or not EurasiaSuperfly can bounce back. I believe in them. I believe in them. With the range from their Kali, they might be able to still mount a comeback by peeling and poking at the enemy team. However, with a CG that's this confident, such as a Tara diving into a tower with 3 enemy heroes, you can see just how ahead CG actually is.
Definitely, but still, EurasiaSuperfly trying to do what they can. It's just that with this many turrets taken from them at this point, potentially another one towards top side. Still, numbers are looking pretty heavy, not wanting to give this up anytime soon, but CG comfortably just hits on it right away. ESF just forced to back away, will defend their inner turret this time around. High ground to be exact. Look at this though. Ooh. That is pressure, pressure, pressure across the board.
Pressure on all sides. While they have to take care of that dragon, the team can now rotate bottom, take this tower, and possibly initiate another fight. Again, Jinna initiates really, really well. And with the stuns from Pena, it's just absolutely decimating.
Kali tries to get a bit of damage, but just a scratch onto the members of CG. ESF trying the best way possible to mount a good enough defense to maintain this high ground in that bot lane. CG though gonna make an easy transition for this mid lane, making sure to pressure every single lane as much as possible. ESF of course is forced to be nothing but responsive. Is this gonna be the last fight though? Jump forced to pop his ultimate. CG just gonna content themselves with baiting out just that from the crash. Kali throwing out his ultimate once again. This could be the final fight here, Marco. That's gonna be the initiate coming in from the Malok. Zell gets decimated. Numbers, HP going down left and right from both sides, but it's actually Clutch Guild that's coming up on top. It's only Buck and Dawn that remain to tell the tale from the side of EurasiaSuperfly. Looks like CG though can't go for the finish yet on the core. We'll just go for the spot lane instead, but wow, what a fight CG took.
You know, I'm really impressed by one thing on this entire team comp, and it's that CG has acknowledged and realized the strength of Black. Black's ability to heal them in long drawn-out fights effectively negates Kali's ability to poke them from range. So, therefore, ESF has no chance to take a pick because the entire enemy team is almost topped off the entire time. Great execution on Clutch Guild's part. Pena play, absolutely beautiful. Mixed in with that huge damage from 611. Mixed in with the great initiates from LYL. Great execution on CG's part. Will ESF find a way to counter it? What do you think, Arctic?
I don't know. At this point, man, it's a little bit tricky because they can't really get those optimal snipes, except for probably this scenario right here. 611 definitely taking quite a bit of damage from ESF. Doesn't have the full support of the rest of CG. A little bit too late for the party, but it is enough to persuade EurasiaSuperfly to back away for now. So that's kind of what you'd want for EurasiaSuperfly. Try to look for those pickoffs whenever those key carries don't have the support of the rest of the team. Like you mentioned, Black at this point could easily just heal up whatever damage ESF deals, but without that support, that could be the opening that EurasiaSuperfly needs. The question is though, is CG going to allow them that opportunity again? We'll just have to see with this fight right here. Black definitely going to get the full barrage of damage coming in from Dawn, but that's going to be LYL going to not allow the rest of the members of ESF to respond to the members of RCG that was getting collapsed on by that Jinner. Down they go. Man, looks like, oh, interesting enough, XDD Is he going to get a split? Not really. Two members of ESF are still up though, so not going to be finishing this game just yet.
Not just yet, but this is going to be a full-blown team fight. Again, CG is seeking to end. We have a Malak coming here. Will he ultimate? He will not. They know how to back off. And they've taken that pick. Wonderful play from 611. Taking this entire team fight. Absolutely beautiful. You know what, Cause? Excellent effort, but it's okay. CG takes the pick, decides to kill the entire enemy team, and now will kill the entire enemy base. It's okay, Jom. It's okay. You're gonna try to do something, but it's okay. Wonderfully executed, and again, like I said last game, beautiful!
BEA, beautiful indeed. I mean,
my gosh.
after CG just took down members of EurasiaSuperfly one by one, even with each member responding, just the brute number of CG going for that siege, just a bit too much to deal with, man.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I forgot, or at least wasn't able to say in my analysis, was the fact that I forgot that CG could actually pick themselves, because they had that Slims. Slims' ability to pick a specific member of the enemy team, especially when caught off guard, is really, really good. They were able to catch Cricknack multiple times and collapse on him immediately, especially when you have the backup of a man drop from Malak, as well as the birds from Pena, as well as the Ara diving into the enemy team. It's just, the pressure is amazing, and the tidal wave of responses that you get when you hit the spear as the Slims is wonderful. Excellent game, and you know what? LYL, you deserve that MVP 100%.
Without a doubt. But still, 2-0 right now. I think the big question here is EurasiaSuperfly Esports capable of mounting a reverse sweep? This is a best of 5.
Yeah.
One more win for CG, and they meet the finals once again.
Yeah, they'll go to the finals on Sunday. Remember, Sunday, September 23, at Feliz in Makati City. Feliz Ayala Malls.
Yes,
Marikina, not Makati. My mistake. At Marikina City, there'll be lots of on-ground events such as lucky draws, gachas that will give you some of our newer heroes like Marja and Baldum, as well as, maybe 10,000 in-game vouchers, as well as all heroes unlocked and all skins unlocked. And maybe, just maybe, you might win a trip to
Singapore.
Oh my gosh, all expenses paid.
I'm gonna be so... Unfortunately, we can't join that.
I
but
mean, yeah, it's okay.
It's for you guys.
It's for you guys who are watching. So, with that in mind, one more game. Match point for CG. We'll see whether or not they can finish them off, or whether EurasiaSuperfly will come back and fly in the face of victory. After we come back from this break.
See ya.
The Queen of Elf, Tel Anas, has slumbered for a millennium. Her deep rest was caused by years ago. Under her leadership, Tel Anas succeeded in defeating the King of Darkness and his dark army. However, she paid a heavy price and was crippled by the power of darkness. She was forced into isolation and went into slumber to purify herself. Now, Tel Anas is strong enough to defeat the darkness, and the Queen of Elf rises once again.
Welcome to the Arena of Valor Hero Spotlight. In this episode, we're introducing the Flash, the fastest man alive.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Arena Valor Cup Season 3. My name is Volgan, and with me this time, I will be Zaya. So we will be your shoutcasters entering, which could be one of the tightest games that I've seen, but match point, which is going to be CG, for short, CG Clutch Guild, versus Eurasia. So, Zaya, coming from games 1 and 2, we did see how, in fact, Marco did say it himself that no matter what CG does, no matter what kind of play they do, despite them making some mistakes, they seem to be the only ones always coming out on top.
As much as I want to give my answer, now let's give it for a hold because right now we're going into the drafting phase right here. So we're going to the ban first, which is given. They're going to ban out Nerd because seeing from the previous game, it was super OP. So
I think I've seen in the YouTube chat, ban muna si Murad. I hope I said that correctly. So it looks like you got your request answered. So looks like from the blue side, it's going to be ESF banning out the Murad, but the Chognar also one of the supports.
yes, and from the previous games that we've seen, Chognar is mostly commonly banned because other than he's one of the top tiers, it's more of like a rotation from some of the picks that were chosen and some that were banned as well. Of course, Senial is a given ban as well,
Blue
since
team's turn
of course
to
his
ban.
kit really has his new initiating and at the same time tanky abilities.
Response is the answer here. Heal and more on numbers advantage for Clutch Guild. So let's see, last ban. Normally we did say here in the caster desk, Valheim. Yeah, I was gonna say Valheim. I was expecting maybe Valheim won't be banned, but looks like in this game 3, which is match point, will be banned out.
Well, of course, they already know the Valheim's kit. Of course, him as a basic player. But, of course, we also see that Violet's been banned as well, seeing that the damage given is quite...
Late game scaling powerful. I think I finished your sentence there.
Yes.
So, you were expecting maybe a Marja. You seem to be really fond of this hero.
because I bought it. And yes.
How do you feel about the hero? What makes you think that Marja is an asset towards the blue side?
Well, for the blue side, I think Marja's an asset in a way that he's more of a tanky, initiating kind of mage instead of the ones that actually carry and do the damage.
And for me, you have a favorite. Yours is Marja. Mine is Teamy. And Teamy has been banned out from time to time. But look, the Omen pick. So that will conclude the first rotation for CG.
That is true. And we see here also a Slims and a Thane. Well, it's not really unorthodox. To be honest, it's quite mostly picked by the teams right now because seeing the kit and the previous game, the Slims was executed very well. And so far for RCG, we have the Malak and the Rourke. So they are really very careful for their team compositions right now because they have seen what RCG can do. So ESF here is going to pick Tel Anas, which not really from the meta right now, but I think they have something up their sleeve.
At least we'll be seeing the Jenar being picked there. You chuckled a bit. Why is that, Saya?
Well, because from knowing from this update right now, Telenas isn't really in the top tier, so this is quite not so traditional for me to see. But at the other hand as well, it maybe they have something up their sleeve. That's why they chose 2 marksmen for this game.
So it looks like 2 marksmen aside for the blue team. ESF right now in a tie corner. Match point is the game here for game number 3. CG 1 more win away. This is the Philippines Semifinals who will face off against MBX, who did win our match 1 on Sunday, September 23, live at Ayala Malls Feliz. We'll be there. I'm gonna be there. Zia's gonna be there. Same with the other casters, Arctic, Chisto, especially Marco, but of course Azurai. Azurai will be joining us too on Sunday. So we hope to see you guys then, starting 11 a.m. But right now, this could be, I'm just saying, could be the last game if ESF does not do anything miraculous.
Yes, they need to have like this one-way ticket to turn the tables around. And of course, for the challengers on Sunday, they will also be receiving tons of prizes, so you have to stay tuned to that.
10,000 vouchers, you know, for the other challengers who did attend Valor Cup Season 2 or Season 1. giveaway. So stay tuned for that, and we hope to see you then. But more important, so let's see how things will pan out here, because we are ready to load onto Antares Battlefield quite shortly. So Zaya, thoughts on game number 3?
My thoughts? Well, of course, from the previous games that I've watched from behind the scenes, well, it's very exceptional because ESF having that good start off in the game 1. But I'm going to have my thoughts in hold because we're going to start out and match to game 3.
Let's go on to game number 3. This is going to be CG. I mean, look at that. 3 members strong invading the red side. Looks like for EurasiaSuperfly Esports, they will be answering that with a Slims and Thane invade. So I'm pretty scared here for ESF because you can see in the map CG crawling and taking a lot from their side.
That is correct. And if you see, they're going for that usual invade on the starting game.
And that invade gets quickly caught off by the response coming from CG. Looks like they did get some casualties, but it'll be okay. Let's see how things will pan out. First blood not yet secured.
That is true. Although the Omen here we can see has low HP, but still manages to survive. Just proves and just goes to show that the survivability of the said hero is remarkable. And we see here as well that the Flash, the teamie are always clumped up together hoping for that early game invade, because the early game here is very crucial to both sides of the team.
Especially for ESF. They're on the Slims, they want to scale, but more importantly the Thane trying to knock back the Malak. CG quite really the bad spot here, especially the Malak. Can he get away? XYX will be the one to set up for the first blood. Rocket takes it away. The Flash backs off. The teammate going in with the put it to engage. Tell Alice get the max stun there. Can they go for the follow-up? Rogue and the Flash on the tail for the Tell Anna. Can it get away? The tower's quite low. It's going to be a flicker under the tower.
She had to use that kind of flicker because running out of mana is quite crucial, especially it was on a 3-1. Of course, that also gave way for RCG to actually get that Abyssal Dragon uncontested.
I mean, you zone out the members of ESF just a snap of your finger. You get an easy Abyssal Dragon. So, CG will be starting things off quite well. 2 kills and the first Abyssal Dragon.
That's true. And look at the gold count as well. Not too far, but at the same time, we can see that RCG is already trying to take control of the map as soon as possible. It looks like they really want to end this game pretty quick.
Look at that. Black went for that face check, sees the Thane and the Jenner. As the Flash will going in for some trade-ups. Meanwhile, it's all about mind games here. Looks like the Thane may be stunned there, but I don't think they want to go for more, seeing the Slims in the river. Meanwhile, cross-map play, looks at the Marja, finally takes down the Omen.
That is correct. And of course, you can see that we're not really that focused, but we'll see what's happening right here.
3 members being piled up there. Mal with a global to just cut them off. The slow is the power here, as it's going to be. CG Clutch Guild there, you're going to be taking away 3 members of ESF.
Their response time is actually quite remarkable because once they see that their teammate is in trouble, they're already disregarding their killing of the minions and the jungle monsters just so that they can help their friend in need, which is really commendable when it comes to team fights.
Yes, team fights the game here, and they know their priority, especially check out that Flash. You gotta hand it towards LYLX. He is the one who dealt the most damage there. The pileup was quite clutch at the same time. Very risky for ESF. Red side is not going to be a good call for RSG there. They will be facing a casualty. The Omen is still down there, but looks like they're still going in for another fight. The teammate was there for the ult. They're still on it. A dive in under tower. That's going to be an ultimate strike down from the Thane. Taking him down. Under tower here. Can the Malak get a kill? Okay, they'll stand up there and just back off. The Abyssal Dragon is spawned right now.
Yes, and from seeing their positions right there, it's really much choice that they take it. Also, they also took the advantage of the tight spot to actually initiate a team fight.
Check it out, Talanas. Can I get it for one more kill? On their tower, there's the heal. Flickering over that wall. The stun does connect, but not the kill. It's going to be a re-engage. Malak with a global, zoning out the Talanas. Left alone, clumped by 4 members of Resurgence. Is going to be another pickup for Resurgence.Clutch Guild.
We have been seeing that the Telenas here having difficulties when it comes to positioning because the other members of ESF are going to have a difficulty responding to her aid.
The Tyrannos was a bit greedy, but you know that ESF, they need to take anything they can here because they need to be the one to dictate the fight here. But checking out how they're playing this, it's all about those pick-offs, especially that Malak.
Meanwhile, we can see that the 3 ESF team on the bottom side, but we can see the 3-1 on that top side there.
The Marjo was actually a bit on the greedy side, but leave it to ESF to just capitalize on the small mistakes they can. Check out the teaming. They're going for the engage. The Flash is there with the speed for chucking down the Talanas. The Talanas pushing away the Flash. Going away under the tower. Meanwhile, the Jenar still burning the Nirvana. Did not get any kills, getting picked off. Again, this is going to be the Jenar's 4th death in a row.
That is correct. This also forces the Talanas to go back because in numbers, and of course when it comes to damage, RCG is quite ahead. Also giving good position to get their 2nd Abyssal Dragon here.
Great attempt from the Flame to try and slow down the team. Getting stunned again. There's the pushback. The Malak is in danger. All the members of ESF focusing onto this tank. There's the being a bro. The focus has changed. They're going under the tower with the Nirvana not doing anything. The Jinner again dies with CG surviving that fight with only another cross-map play there. Marja solo killing again that Omen. Hang on. Is this going to be the Talanas going for a snipe? No, it's not.
They're also disregarding the fact that there was a tower there because they were confident enough to actually tower dive ESF right there. And we can see that the Rourke here going in for objectives as usual. This is going to have a pinch time for ESF since their gold count is already having a big gap. And they have to do something like what we told earlier, that one-way ticket to actually turn the tables around.
Looks like that table may be in the favor of CG because at this point, check out the gold. In a 7-minute game, like an AOV game, that is already huge. And quite honestly, it's gonna be hard, but miracles do happen here, especially when you are at match point here. The Thane being slowed down. Global coming in. There's the max range knock up onto the Thane, forcing him to flicker under the tower. Meanwhile, the Flash going on to Talanas. The teammate will be the one to secure the kill. But check out that Thane with the ultimate, taking him down under the tower. That's going to be a trade-off, but in a complete favor of EurasiaSuperfly Esports for a 1-for-2 trade.
And we have heard the Darkslayer already spawning right here, but we can see numbers are in favor of ESF, but
great stun coming from the Slims to set up for the kill. ESF taking back this game. The Abyssal Dragon has spawned right now with only 2 members of Resurgence.Clutch Guild. Down for the count there. They instead go for the tower.
which was an efficient way to do that because of their position is well rent off from that tower.
On their tower there, Malik is there for the 2-man huge knockup, setting up for the shutdown. Why stop there? Going for more, but in the end, that's gonna be a bit on the green side. But Resurgence.Clutch Guild did what they needed to do, delay the push.
That is correct, and it was also efficient for Team ESF to not push through, pushing at that tower because it would look greedy and it will not go into their favor.
Abyssal Dragon could have been a take there, but EurasiaSuperfly Esports, they wanted more control of the map. They kind of risked it in the tier 2 tower. It was all worth the risk, but at least they did not come out without any prize there. You can see on your screens here that the Abyssal Dragon, look at that, ESF starting it off, but check out the Darkslayer.
Yes, of course, while they're getting that dragon here, RCG trying to go for that Darkslayer, but was aborted because they have seen that ESF coming in their way, trying to stop them from actually getting that Dark Slayer.
Smart move. But looks like they're going for those extra kills. They do spot out the Thane quite low. There's the ultimate. Oh, that is sad for the Marja with the rope taking him down for the huge shot up. The Jenner. Could it be the time for the Jenner to just buy some time? Could it be the one to clean up this fight here? Not enough damage. Gets instantly chucked down by that. Wow. Instantly bursted. And you think that the Malik would be down there, but no, the Jenner will be the one to really give false hope to the fans of ESF.
That is correct, and we can see while that clash was happening, the Omen here pushing through with the bottom side of the lane. Telenas trying to do something, but the Omen here is focusing more on the tower here, knowing its priority, and now was stunned by Telenas, trying to get it, but it was a 2v1 act. Omen got slain.
Omen got slain, but he did take down the high ground tower. 2 members were spotted in the bot side. Resurgence.Clutch Guild immediately respond to the Dark Slayer. But hang on! ESF, check out the Abyssal Dragon area. This is in range, guys. So you know that Clutch Guild, they do have a debuff, but they are still trying to slow them down. Black, trying to go for the stun, only connecting onto the Thane. Thane is right there for the zone. Here comes the flash, instantly gets popped, but there is the teaming for the Resurrect and re-engage coming from the Malik. It's going to be the Marja taking him down, but you know what happened there. The enraged Abyssal Dragon fell to the hands of EurasiaSuperfly Esports.
That is correct, and numbers do matter there as well, so they managed to do it properly this time.
My God.
Yes, this is also a good chance for them to push through the middle side of the lane.
With only 2 members left to defend, with the enraged Abyssal Dragon buff on their hands, can they? Can they do something about this? Can they go for the end here? 8 seconds left on the teamie. Here comes the flash. Thane is there. Oh, instantly gets popped. He does make it out alive. The core is the focus here. Can ESF finish it off? But look at the top side. The Omen going for the back door. Can they go for it? Cannot. They need to buy some time. There comes the push in. It's going to be CG trying to delay the fight here. But right now the Malak going to run to just tank in the front line. The Talanas just looking at the core. The flash weaving in and out of the fight here. You can see the Marja very, very low. But the Omen right there going for that pick off. Here comes the shot down. Here comes the Omen. Flicker away all you want. You cannot run from CG.
That was an intense game coming back there. Although the Omen successfully goes to the tower, not to the core, but also goes to the back door, getting kills as well, which is a good execution done by RCG.
This was a very brave move by ESF. Not only that they risked it all, but at least they were able to buy some time. But looking at the spawn timers here, that's gonna be a bit of a clutch. Talanas 5 seconds. Marja back from the dead. The core will be the focus there. Malik is there for the great zone, but they don't have the minions. The core doing some damage for themselves. The Marja going in, and finally, this is what we were waiting for. But in the end, look at that. Focus on the core, and you win the game.
Congratulations to Resurgence.Clutch Guild.
Well played.
Well, very well played. It was like a snowball fight.
It was actually a snowball, yes, in the favor of CG, but you saw what ESF did. They fought valiantly. They tried their best to just focus on what's important, the core. You saw the Talana's desperate attempt to win back Game 3, but you know when CG, constant top-performing teams across the Valor Cup seasons 1 and 2, you know that they will be the ones to just secure the game just at the snap of a finger.
That is correct. They know their priorities. They know who to take down first, and they know what to do. But we also have to give remarks to ESF for taking that risk of actually going forward to that middle side of the lane.
That was a very close game, but in the end, it's going to be Resurgence.Clutch Guild. Congratulations for winning match 2 with a clean 3-0. Everyone, challengers watching right now, you have your finalist. Moving on to September 20th, that's going to be a Sunday, for Ayala Malls Feliz for the live event of the PH Final. So, we hope to see you there.
That is correct. Of course, for the challengers, other than the prizes that we usually see, there will be a raffle draw. And that raffle draw, whoever wins it, gets a trip for 2 at the PvP Esports at Singapore.
That's something that if you guys want more information on, be sure to check out our Facebook page, Garena AOV. If you want to know more about the details of what's coming up on September 23, or if you want more information, actually, if you want more information to see more about the Battle Cup Season 3, more about the prizes that you can win while attending it. So, I guess this is going to be me, Vulcan, Vulcan, and Zaya and I, if you want to be like that, signing up for now. Good night, everyone, and to all challengers right now, thank you so much for watching the Garena Arena Valor Battle Cup Season 3. We hope to see you Sunday.
That will be the Flash taking down Nemo, though. That's going to be a bit of a cripple onto the side of CG. They're just forced to back away, losing out on 2 members right there. Pero mukhang di pa tapos din. Flash tries to go in, takes quite a bit of damage, but that's going to be the straight in from 611. Take note that Mirad's still doing pretty darn good, but small victory for EurasiaSuperfly right there.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Murad is the important part here. It doesn't matter if everybody else dies at this point. So long as 611 is able to execute well and just execute the enemy team, I think CG will do just fine. However, it's all up to Black and XYX to defend him.
Oh, look at all that tankiness coming in from that Crash, though. Forced to back away, though, with XYX coming in from the backline. That's a great goal coming in from the Illumia. Here comes Don, gonna try to wreak some havoc into the ranks of CG. Down that Arduin goes. Can they go for more? Looks like Ayala trying to do what he can. Forced to back away for now, though, with the death of 2 members. Going straight in onto the members of EurasiaSuperfly, forced to disperse. CG, though, not really clear on who they're going to go for. Looks like they might actually go for Zell, a little bit far from the comfort of this turret. 611 just hitting on him like a madman, throwing those attacks back and forth. Looks like Sage Golem will be for the taking as well. CG, can they get a push in, though? Wave's a little bit far off. Won't be able to take that second turret towards bot, but here in the mid lane, bit of a different story, but they're going to turn to Dawn first. Look at all that damage that Kali's taking. Might be dishing out a lot of damage, but still very squishy. Members of ASF, though, looks like they need to disperse, need to probably back away. Jump, gonna force his ultimate away, but still with all 5 members collapsing onto him, it's a good done deal. Tanky just doesn't matter. That's gonna be the Tara getting the kill, but can they go for a finish here, though? High ground will be CG.
Absolutely beautiful. You know what, boss? Excellent effort, but it's okay. CG takes the pick, decides to kill the entire enemy team, and now will kill the entire enemy base. It's okay, Jom. It's okay. You're gonna try to do something, but it's okay. Wonderfully executed, and again, like I said last game,
good call for RSG there. They will be facing a casualty. The Omen is still down there, but looks like they're still going in for that fight. The teamie was there for the ult. They're still on it. A dive in under tower. That's going to be an ultimate strike down from the Thane. Taking him down under tower here. Going on to tell Anos the teamie will be the one to secure the kill. But check out that Thane with
is well rent off from that tower.
under tower there. Malik is there for the 2-man huge knockup. Setting up for the shutdown. Why stop there? Going for more. But in the end, that's going to be the kills. They do spot out the Thane quite low. There's the ultimate. Oh, that is sad for the Marga with the rope taking it down for a huge shutdown. The Jenner could be the time for the Jenner to just buy some time. Could be the one to clean up this fight here. Not enough damage. Gets instantly shut down by that. Wow. Instantly bursted, and you think that the Malik would be down there, but no, the Jenner will be the one. Debuff, but they are still trying to slow them down. Black trying to go for the stun, only connecting onto the Thane. Thane is right there for the zone. Here comes the flash, instantly gets popped, but there is the teamie for the Resurrect, and re-engage coming from the Malik. It's going to be Marja taking him down, but you know what happened there. The enraged Vessel Dragon fell to the flash. Thane is down. Oh, instantly gets bombed. He does make it out alive. The core is the focus here. Can ESF finish it off? But look at the top side. The Omen going for the back door. Can they go for it? Cannot. They need to buy some time. There comes the push in. It's going to be CG trying to delay the fight here. But right just looking at the car, the flash weaving in and out of the fight here. You can see the Marja very, very low, but the Omen right there going for that pick off. Here comes the shutdown. Here comes the Omen. Flicker away all you want. You cannot run from CG.
That was an intense game coming back there. Although the Omen successfully goes to the tower, not to the core, but also goes to the back door, getting killed
Time
as
is here.
well.
That's gonna be a bit of a clutch. Talana's 5 seconds. Marja back from the dead. The core will be the focus there. Malik is there for the great soul, but they don't have the minions. The core doing some damage for themselves. The Marja going in, and finally, this is what we were waiting for. But in the end, look at that. Focus on the core, and you win the game.